Yo, 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 what's good, people? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? We back. We back together with the two screen action, which it seems like it's been forever. Let me take this phone number off real quick because I know y'all know, we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
If
We got we
y'all
gotta
call us
relax.
now, y'all gonna be sorely
Yeah,
disappointed.
we gotta relax. All right. But Dave, we back together. Yo, Jared, yo, you man,
Stop, man.
I
No, no, no.
appreciate it.
It's a good. No,
No,
listen,
I
man.
appreciate it, Jared.
Relax, cause if
Oh,
he's here, I want him to call in. I watched last week. I was in the chat.
that's funny.
I'm aware about what was been going down when I'm away.
Hey, Locks Main is the man, yo. Whenever he get in here,
Look, man. I was a chat cat last week with some terrible reception where I was at. I'm fully aware
hey
of
Lock,
what was going
hey
down.
Locks definitely owes you some smoke, Dave.
I
He
know.
owe
I
you some
heard.
smoke.
I heard. I heard he owed us some
He,
smoke. I'm sitting in the airport. He out here trying to steam it up, man, for no reason.
shout out to Locks, man. Hey, shout out to
But
Locks,
yo,
man.
but you know what? You know what? You know what? His guy's gone, so it doesn't matter.
Talk about it, Dave.
He gone.
Talk about it, Dave.
Dallas out here getting their little Rooney Rule action and hired McCarthy on the fly. Only person that brought Marvin Lewis in was the Cowboys. Think about that for a second.
Talk about it. Talk about it. And if I'd have been prepared, I would have had the gunshots ready for you, Dave. But I'm not.
It's all right.
And my mouse is
It's all
tripping.
right, man.
My mouse is tripping. So, but yeah. Anyway, Dave, we back together again. Um, how was your holidays? Happy holidays for everybody.
Happy
Happy New
holidays,
Year,
man.
2020 vision and all that cliche stuff. What's good?
Timberlake already beat us though. He already made a 2020 album. He did
He
two versions of it.
he did. He did.
So you know.
But Dave, how was your holidays, bro?
Nah, it was pretty good, man. It's all look, man. Like I said before, man. It ain't about me when it's holiday time. It's about the kids because
Facts.
I end up spending all my money, and it all goes to them. So it's
Facts.
ultimately about the kids. I'm just a body.
How's New Year's though? Your New Year's was straight?
New Year's was straight. I went to one of my buddies' house for New Year's, but it was mostly chill, man. I prefer peace over everything.
I see you with the water, Dave. New Year, new you.
Well, now I left the gym, so I need to get some
Oh,
hydration.
Dave in the gym. All right. I fit New Year, new Dave. Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
I'm trying to get more.
New Year, new Dave, man. Shout
So
out
if
to
I got
Dave.
on this same shirt every Monday, you know why.
Hey, that's what's up. I worked out too, but I've been about this life. But
But yeah, man, you be like burpee and all this other
yeah,
stuff. I ain't there yet.
I be
I'm
about that
just
life.
treadmilling it up right now.
Hey, that's all it
Get my
takes, man.
steps in. You know what I'm saying?
You in there. That's all that matters. Is you in there.
Exactly.
You got to get started somewhere, and all it takes is that first couple steps on the treadmill. Then you get going, man. So shout out to Dave, man. That's what's up, man. You gotta stick to it.
I'm gonna try not to be one of those guys that disappear after January 15th. I'm gonna try my
Yeah,
best
yeah.
to
At least
stay in
make
there
it.
past.
If you make it to February 1st, you good, yo.
Yeah.
Make it to
No, I
February
dig it.
1st. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right, but yeah, I didn't do nothing for New Year's. I was chill. Yo, I did absolutely nothing for New Year's. I've been traveling so much. I was like, yo, I'm just gonna stay at the crib, man. So I did.
As you should, man. You've been to like 5 countries
Yo,
last year.
hey, 2019 was awesome, man. Look, if my 2020 is anything like 2019, it's gonna be a great year, man. 2019 was great to me. So I appreciate 2019. Hopefully, everybody 2020 will be just as good, or better if your 2019 sucked. But my 2019 was awesome. So hopes and cheers to a great year, man. So that's what's up, man. All right, so
You know what my biggest dilemma is right now
what's
though.
up? What's up, Dave?
I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fit this NBA Jam arcade cabinet behind me.
You got NBA Jam, bro?
No,
That's a
did you hear about?
that's a
Did you
classic.
hear?
No, I didn't.
Arcade One Up is releasing an NBA Jam Arcade One Up,
Oh, that's
and it's gonna be
classic.
online, son. It's
Oh,
going
you
to
can
be
connect it?
online,
Oh, that's
fam.
crazy. They getting
It's
ridiculous
gonna
with
have
the
NBA
arcade
Jam.
joints.
It's gonna have NBA Jam Tournament Edition. It's gonna have Hang Time
That's what's up.
online, son. Do you understand the problems I'm gonna have?
That's what's up, man. NBA Jam was a classic, man. That's some
And
classic
all the
shit.
players, like the NBA players, it's gonna be all. They're gonna have the license to bring the original players that was in it on it.
Wow. That's
Fam,
crazy. That's crazy.
my wallet is not. It's not looking good for
Hey man,
2020
Dave,
wallet
just
wise.
hey, just man, whatever, man. YOLO. YOLO.
Always, always.
Yeah, man. But all right, Dave, we got a lot to talk about. And today If you could tell by the title, it's gonna be dedicated to the coaches. We're gonna talk about each coach. We had five. I think we down to four. Well, we had six, and now we down to five. And only four pictured in the picture in the thumbnail. That's because that's how all I could fit in the dopeness that I created. So that's all I could fit. So anyway, but Dave, before we get to that, um, let's talk about some news. Couple news. Wait, where you at, Dave? On this?
I'm
Hold
here.
on. No, no, no,
I
no.
disappeared.
No. You're good. You're good. I'm talking about on the window. There you go. Now you're up there.
All right.
I had blocked you out on something else. But
You
anyway,
blocked me,
no,
man.
I did. My bad, man. We gotta get back in the
Listen, I
groove.
know I've been gone for a
I
while,
know,
and
man.
I'm not scared of Lokes, man. I'm not
We
scared of
we
Lokes, man.
gotta get back in the groove, bro. We gotta get back. Hey, we need Locks back in here, bro. He need to come through. He probably be here about 9. He probably be behind 9. He probably rolling
Look,
up
man,
right now.
I'll be here.
He probably rolling up right now, yo. He rolling up right now. You know, a good one for the stickiest of the icky. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but all right, man. Hey, yeah, man. Shout out to my like patrol, and make sure we got 63 people watching. Hit the like button, man. Let's get about 80. Let's get 100 likes for this joint. We talking about
Yeah, I
all the
want 100
coaches.
likes, yo,
Let's
because
get a
we're gonna be talking about some coachings,
yeah.
some coaches
Let's talk about
today.
these coaches. And listen, if you feel some type of way about what we saying and we missing information, please call in and educate us. Educate us. I'm pretty well versed in who I want, who I don't want. But hey, if you feel some type of way, call in. Let's talk about it, man. Let's debate. That's just we opening up the communication lines, and let's talk about. Listen, we all not gonna agree on the same thing, but the debate is great. Okay, so bring in your points. Let's talk about it. I mean, I know Noli's gonna call in. I know Locksman gonna call in. I know my boy Jared might call in. I know Eddie might call in. But yo, other people, let's get it in. Let's talk about it. And let's debate. Let's talk about it. But anyway, before we get to the coaches, we got to catch up on some news, okay? First off, FA Obata, Dave. Marty Herney is still out here moving and grooving, handing out this money. I don't know how much he got. He was signed to an exclusive rights deal, so that essentially means he probably here for the Lowski, the real Lowski. So, role player. I think it's an easy decision. Bring him back. Although we don't know who the scheme is, we don't know who the defensive coordinator is. We'll talk about that later, Dave. Hold it. And
I
we don't
won't.
know we don't know what the scheme is. It's a lot of question marks, but we still out here talking and extending people. Dave, what are your thoughts on FA Obata's re-signing?
It's
1 year
expected,
deal,
man. I
by the
think he
way.
likes it. Huh? Yeah,
One
no,
year
it's a
one
1 year
year deal.
deal. It's expected. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a good fit. I think the coaching staff's gonna like him. Whoever hires him, he puts in the effort, man. I'm happy for him. From where he came from and how he got into the NFL. I wish the best for him. He's probably one of my favorite Panthers on the squad, believe it or not.
I do like
But
FA. I got a chance to interact with him a little bit because I got him to sign my jersey, and super nice dude. He's like real approachable. Like when it comes to like fans, like people like have the UK flag and whatnot, and like he loves that shit. So real cool dude. Great story. A role player, and listen, his contract is it's not like he got signed for millions of dollars. He got a nice little lowski, nice little low ball offer, and it was an exclusive rights deal, which essentially means that he can't go nowhere else, and either he's gonna sign with us or become a free agent. So um, it, you know it wasn't a hard decision. I just think that it's just weird that we don't know who the head coach is, and we don't know what scheme we're gonna be running, but yet you are still extending people. Just weird, but I'm not against it. All right, especially for the Lowski. All right, moving on, Dave. Anything else on FA before we move on?
nah, I'm good on that. Congrats to him and good luck to him.
Yep. All right.
But he'll be on the roster next year.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna say who's gonna be and who's not gonna be. It's way too early for that, and we don't know who the defense coordinator is and scheme. So it's way too early for that, in my opinion. But anyway, moving on, Dave. We got two All-Pro team members, Luke Kuechly, Christian McCaffrey times two, because Christian McCaffrey is All-Pro at running back and the flex position. Dave, what are your thoughts on Christian McCaffrey? becoming All-Pro running back.
There's your NFL offensive player of the year right there.
Ooh, you think so?
It would be a
Yeah, cause
travesty if he doesn't win it.
yeah, I think so because I think Lamar Jackson is gonna get the MVP, which opens up the Offensive Player of the Year award. Um, it, I'm not debating that. I mean, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Uh, but any more thoughts on Christian McCaffrey Day?
I ran into him twice in the fantasy finals, and I lost in both matchups. Very unfortunate.
Yeah,
He's the number one guy in fantasy next year, by the way. But that's saying that now I could change my mind depending on who the coach is, who ends up being the head coach, depending on what system he brings in. But he's been awesome, man, and I'm afraid that he might hold out. But that's another discussion for another day.
I think it
Okay,
is, and I think he should
I'm,
hold out.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely should.
it'd be
Fam. When you're the third player in NFL history to go for 1,000, you're the NFL Offensive Player of the Year. Depending on some seasons, you're the NFL MVP. But because he went 5-11, he's going to be the Offensive Player of the Year. There's no way you cannot give it to him. You can't give it to any other running back but him.
I'm,
And
I'm
the only other person that has a legitimate chance to win it over him is Michael Thomas.
I
That
think
is it.
I think Dave just correct me.
Lamar's going to win MVP. They're not going to give MVP and Offensive Player of the Year to him,
I
to the
think
same
they
person.
I
That's
think
not
they
happening.
I think they do that, Dave. I was just validating that. I think they give it to them both. I thought that wasn't the case. Let me just double check that real quick.
They won't give Lamar both
Yeah,
of them.
they have done that. So AP it's named by AP, Offensive Player of the Year, and they do because Patrick Mahomes did it last year. He got NFL MVP and he got Offensive Player of the Year. So that's the case. Yes, Lamar Jackson's going to get both. Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, I
Ah,
agree there.
man.
I agree there.
I don't. I think they're gonna give it to Christian, man.
I don't think so.
MVP,
I
I
would
get
agree
it.
with you if they didn't do it, but they definitely do it both. And
But
I think
Mahomes was
Lamar.
different, dude. Like you
Nah,
got to consider the
nah.
season that Mahomes had.
If Mahomes got it, then Lamar is gonna get it. You bugging, Dave? What locks man at?
Hey, man,
I mean,
whatever.
locks need to come G
I
check
don't
you
know,
early in
man.
the show.
Like Mahomes did it last year, but who else could have gotten Offensive Player of the Year? Like what other position? What other player did something else as outstanding as something historic as what Christian did? That's my thing. That's why I think they're gonna give him that. He's probably gonna get that one. He ain't gonna get MVP.
that's that's a fact. That's a fact. Slim. Slim said he's a top three running back in the league, and he's a quarterback. It's true. It's
He
all
did run for
facts.
1,000 yards. I
It's
will
all
say that.
facts, dude. He's definitely gonna be offensive player of the year um and MVP. But anyway,
Michael Thomas is the only one I'm afraid of, because Michael Thomas had a phenomenal year as
Dave, it's
well.
not happening, bro. Lamar Jackson is gonna get that joint, yo. It's over. Like it's no debating. It's over. It's gonna get it. It's over, Dave.
We'll see.
Listen, I
I
like
got my hope.
Christian McCaffrey had a great season. It'd been better if the Panthers had a better season. But it is what it is. And shout out to Luke, man, second team linebacker.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Shout out to Luke, man.
God, we just waste. I'm just watching him waste away, man. Shit, damn it,
Just 1 year, dude. We'll be fine.
man. Dude, I don't know. It sucks, man. It just sucks to watch the goat go down like this, especially if our teams aren't successful in the next couple 3-4 years, man. Just we wasted one of the greatest middle linebackers of all time.
I
Um,
don't know if it's a waste. The man got to play in the Super Bowl. There's some
I
great
mean, he
linebackers that
did.
never get to
That's
play in
true,
one.
man. That's true. But damn,
Like
where they come.
I understand, yo. I understand that maybe he should get a ring. I get all that, but that man's play. There are players who have never
I
played in the
agree.
Super Bowl.
I agree with you. Yes, you're right. I agree with you.
NFL Hall of Famers.
I
That
agree.
man's got to play in one.
I agree.
So it's all in perspective.
It is. It is. It is. I would just like to see him. Uh,
No, I get it. And and he's got a couple more. He got more years coming up. I mean, we got time. It ain't
couple,
like time's up.
no, it's not. And he's playing. He's healthy. He's not concussed or anything like that. Knock on wood. He's been playing through last couple seasons, all 16. So, um, shout out to
I
Luke,
wanna.
man.
All right. After this segment, man, I wanna have a quick interesting question for you. That's nothing to do with it. Well, it has something to do with coaches, but nothing to do with the future coaches of this team. I
Okay,
got a
hold on.
question for
Let's
you.
let. Do you want to do it now before we get into the segment?
Well, finish the news and then we'll
I
we'll
think
do it.
that's. I think that's it. Oh no,
That's
I'm not.
it.
No, it's not. No, it's not. One more. Sam Mills, Hall of Fame finalist. Shout out to Sam Mills. Dave, any thoughts on Sam Mills becoming a? I know you got some thoughts on some other guys, but shout out to
Man,
Sam Mills. Um,
I think I think if Sam's gonna get in, this will be the year for it to happen. But there's some folks on that list that should have already been in that have done more, and that's my best way of saying it. I hope he gets in because this is like when I looked at the finals, I was like, all
yeah,
right, this
it's
is the chance for some linebackers and some
yeah, it's
secondary to
kind of
get
it's
in there.
kind of a down year for Hall of Fame. It's not like the heavy hitters. I think who was it? Palomalu, couple other guys. Was
Yeah, but
he?
that's the heavy hitters for like a lot of the folks in the chat don't know, and what
Yeah.
will know.
No, no, I
But
know.
there's one guy,
I feel you.
there's another safety that's there that should have been in
Yeah, I
that
feel you.
isn't in yet,
I feel you.
and
Um,
that's Steve Atwater.
yeah, I feel you, Dave.
If he can't, if he can't get in now,
Ain't no safeties
they
getting in.
got something for that guy, man. Something's up. It's a travesty. Like he shouldn't have got in before Lynch, my opinion.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't get in for Torrey Vincent either. Now Torrey Holt's getting in. He's coming.
Yeah,
Now
Tory.
whether or not is this his first round though? Because
Uh,
if this is his first time doing it, they're gonna make him wait.
Tory. I think this is his first go.
Then he ain't getting in. You make Randy Moss wait. You make To wait. He gonna have to wait. I think they made Marvin Harrison wait too, if I remember correctly.
I think Marvin Harrison's on the ballot now. He's waiting. I think he's currently waiting, isn't he? Or did he get
I
in?
thought he got in already.
He might have got in. I thought he was on the ballot.
I thought he got
I
in
could
last
be
year, the
tripping.
year
I
before.
could be tripping. I could be tripping.
Yeah, they're gonna make him wait. I like Tory, but
I like
you
Tory.
know,
Shout out to NC State.
yeah,
Shout out to NC
Marvin's
State.
already in, and but the thing is, Marvin had to get in, but I don't think he was first ballot either. I think they made him wait too. So they make the wide receivers wait for a reason, for some reason, man, which is kind of crazy. That's why when I think Steve Smith has the numbers to be a Hall of Famer, but they're gonna make him
It's
wait.
gonna be tight for Steve, bro.
It's gonna be hard because by the time he's eligible, he's gonna be going up against some freaking heavy hitters. Because Megatron's gonna be due very soon, and then there'll be a debate on whether or not how they're gonna handle Megatron.
I don't know. Good luck with that.
Yeah,
I don't know. All right.
I don't think Randy Moss was first ballot. I think Randy had to wait a year. Chris Carter had to wait.
That's debatable. I'm
Art
not.
Monk had to wait too.
I'm not gonna get into this. The who's waiting. That's a whole nother discussion. We'll have another day. But Dave, what was your question before we get in these coaches real quick?
All right. So as you know, our former coach Ron Rivera has become the head coach of the Washington Redskins.
Mm-hmm.
He hired Jack Del Rio as the defensive coordinator. The question I have to you in the chat is why not Carolina? Why couldn't he do that here?
Hmm.
Do you think the management and the ownership told him he couldn't? Because it
I
wasn't
don't
like
know.
Del Rio wasn't available, because he was.
I don't know.
So like it makes me think
You saying he was
that he didn't
sabotaged?
exactly always have to say of his staff. Because so that's
Under
my thing.
under
Like
two regimes though, because he had the opportunity. How long has Del Rio been available?
3 years.
So he had the opportunity under previous ownership and didn't bring him in either. Correct?
But that's my point. Like, how do we know if he tried and like I could see Del Rio sitting a year, right? Theoretically, right? He got fired from the Raiders. He might sit out a year. Coaches do that. But after
You know,
that,
I
or maybe it might have been a situation where it might have been too volatile for them to allow him to
I
make that
think
type of
I
move.
think personally I think it's a Ron thing. I think he is now. seeing the error of his ways, and he's like, all right, let me go out here and get a guy. Obviously, his shit didn't work under me. Let me get another guy. Let me focus on being the head coach. I think this is an example of him learning from his mistakes.
No, that's fair.
I think that's what it is.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Washington should be freaking ecstatic about getting Rivera.
I mean,
My opinion.
I agree. I think they should be happy coming from what they've come
Cause,
from
'cause
and what they've been through. They should be happy, but again, I tell you, I told Jerron the same thing, and you saw what I posted. I'm like, yo,
yeah,
he's a great coach. He ain't gonna. I don't think he's gonna bring you a Super Bowl. He's not that kind of guy. Like his coaching style does not lend to the way that things are going in the NFL. He's not that guy. I've seen we've had him for 9 years. I've seen way too many examples of just weird, bad coaching, whether it's clock management, just personnel. It's just a lot of the weird. I mean, even the whole scheme when he changed the scheme thing and took onus of and called the plays, he completely sacrificed the run to lead the league in sacks. Like that. I mean, yeah, you told us you was gonna get pressure on the ball, but you completely sacrificed the run game in the scheme change or whatever play call, whatever you're doing. You completely sacrificed the run. Like that's just not good. That's on you, bro. And as a defensive coach, like I don't know. That's just my opinion, man. My opinion.
I have one more question for you.
Go ahead.
The conversion to a 3-4. Do you think that was all his decision?
I don't.
I'm questioning that too.
I don't know. I don't know.
Nah, it's just, man, I'm I'm happy that Ron got. I knew Ron was gonna get a new gig immediately after he got the job. It's
Yeah,
just
we knew that. He's a good
the
coach.
pre. Yeah, he is. The presser. Like I watched the presser when he got the gig, and I'm like, yo, I understand. Like he had the same like fire that he had when he was in Carolina, but he made like certain comments that made me think, yo, like maybe it wasn't his call to go to
His
three
hands were
four.
tied.
Like maybe
I don't know.
you know owner came from a team that always played a 3-4. It's just weird stuff like that. Sad me thinking. That's all.
I don't know, man.
Sad
What
me thinking about some things.
whatever it may be, I think he's got all the power up there. They gave him, I think,
Mm-hmm.
decision over the roster and all that stuff. So it's on him. I mean, and we'll see. I think they're gonna have some good years. They're gonna have some down years. They got a lot of cap money to spend. They don't have. I mean, they've got a rookie quarterback. Excuse me, a quarterback on a rookie deal. If you don't see it happen in the next 3 4 years, that's and I go back to the thing I did when I brought up the Super Bowl winning coaches. When a coach transitions, traditionally happens. The Super Bowl victory happens within the first 4 to 5 years. For them, they've got Haskins under a rookie deal, and they've got tons of cap space. So
And they got
there's
they have
no
some talent on
excuses.
that roster.
There is no excuses for Ron Rivera. So I see all this other stuff about we didn't have the players. That might be true, but there's no excuses for Ron Rivera within the next 3 4 years. He's got hella cap space. He's got all the roster decisions. So if he doesn't bring a Super Bowl to them, then that's on him. They've got the Redskins have a prime situation right now. Tons of money, quarterback on a rookie deal. They've got some really good young defensive players. That's on them. So I believe it when I see it again. And it's just not even roster. You call it what you want. Just some of the coaching decisions that I've seen. I just don't think he's that guy. Just my opinion. It's my opinion.
I think if Snyder gets out the way, they're gonna be fine. Do I think they're gonna win Super Bowl? I don't know, but I think this will be the best coach they've had since they had Joe
I
Gibbs.
mean that ain't yeah, but that ain't saying
But
much
that ain't,
either.
you can say that ain't saying much, but look at all the coaches they've had since Joe Gibbs. And I'm not even talking about second coming to Joe Gibbs because that one was kind of but the one before that, they haven't had really good coaches since then.
Yeah.
But I think they could they're in prime they're in a prime spot to take over the East if they do it right. if they do it
No,
right.
I don't know because Dallas got some. We going way down. We going way too far down the weeds. But anyway, I think
Speaking of Dallas, congrats on their new head coach.
congrats to the new head coach. We'll talk. We'll get into that here. Um, but yeah. Um, and anyway, Ron Rivera is in a great situation. If they don't win a Super Bowl, and you know what, it's the game is about winning a Super Bowl. What do you have to do to get to a Super Bowl? 11 wins is nice. Being consistent winning team is great. But can you win a Super Bowl? And that's what I want to see. That's why Ron Rivera is fired. If we wanted to stay mediocre, we would have kept Ron. If we wanted to stay a average 10-win team, perennial playoff team, we would have kept Ron. But that's not what we about. We trying to make moves to get to the Super Bowl, and that's what it's about. It's about getting over that hump. And Ron wasn't that guy in Carolina. Can he do it in Washington? Only time will tell. That's just my
Good
point,
luck
my
to him,
opinion.
though.
Yeah, he's a great coach. I have no beef with him, but I just don't think he was the guy to get us over the hump. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Excuse me. All right, Dave. Let's hop into these candidates one at a time. Uh,
Let's go.
we're gonna start off with Perry Fewell, Dave. Perry Fewell, is he the next head coach? I did reorder the slides, Dave. My bad. If you're looking at them, I
No, you're
reordered them.
fine. I'm
Okay.
kind of glad you did.
Yeah,
This
I
is good.
reordered them.
I meant to talk to
Yeah.
you about this. This is
Yeah,
good.
I reordered them. So
That's fine.
Perry Fewell, okay. Dave, let's get into some positives of why Perry Fewell is a good. It could be, what's some good things about Perry Fewell, okay? Let's talk about it, Dave. I only got one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got one, and these were put together real quick. So spare me, please spare me, okay? I think he's got some experience as interim head coach. He was an interim
Yes.
head coach with the Bills, interim head coach with the Panthers. Dave, what do you think about Perry Fewell?
I think
Be
Perry
nice,
Fewell
Dave.
walked into him. Huh?
Be nice.
No, I'm not. No. I have no problem with Perry Fewell. I have Perry Fewell ranked higher than some of the coaches that are probably on this list for a multitude of reasons. I think him having the head coaching experience matters a little bit, and I think he was drawn into like the two opportunities he had. He kind of got drawn into a raw deal on both ends, right?
Yeah.
Particularly with this one, So I'm not doubting his inability to head coach and to lead a team of men. I'm not doubting that at all. I just think he's had raw deals in both opportunities that he had, both times as an interim coach. He
Okay.
didn't exactly inherit a great
Yo,
situation.
y'all are
But I will
killing.
say this. But I
Yeah,
will say this:
go ahead.
if we don't get the guy that Tepper wants, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary if they decide to bring him back as the coach.
That's a good point, Dave. I never actually thought about that, but
And
I never thought about that.
truth be told, there ain't too many folks left on this list that I'm willing to take.
I'm with you on that. But Dave, yo, they killing Perry Fewell in the chat.
I know they
My
are.
boy player from the Himalayas said Perry farewell. That's funny. Yo, that is really funny. I'm sorry. Yo,
He can still end up on the staff, depending on who gets hired.
that's funny, yo. That's funny.
You guys out here talking about Perry Farewell.
Yo, that
He
is
could still end up
funny.
on the staff
Yo, that's funny.
if depending on who gets
He
hired.
could end up on the staff. He could end up on the staff. But let's move on, Dave. Positives. That's all I got for Perry. I'm sorry. Interim coach, interim head coach. Now let's get to the negatives, Dave.
It's probably the same
Let's
thing.
let's get to the negatives. All right. Reason for concerns? Yes. He was the Panthers interim head coach and we went what 0-4, 0-5. Yes, that
Yes.
is cause for concern, okay?
But look what he inherited, Brant fam.
I got you, bro. I get that. But you gotta instill some sort of optimism for it. Let's get some kind of dub. I mean, listen.
And
They
and you know what he did? He gave us what the fans wanted. He gave us what we wanted. Y'all wanted to see Will Greer? Y'all got to see Will Greer.
Yeah, I wanted to see Curtis Samuel on some get out in space and play running back. Curtis Samuel
You
play
got
running
to
back.
see Curtis Samuel get out into space and play some running back. Do I agree with him playing Will Greer in this situation? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They should have just kept Coward and got him killed. Now you crush the confidence of our rookie quarterback.
Yeah,
But I digress.
yeah. So that's all I got for Perry Fewell. Listen, I think they're giving him a shot. I think this is more like a, hey man, we appreciate what you've done here. We want to keep you on the staff. We're gonna give you a shot at the, give you an interview. And I think he interviews on Wednesday, Dave, if I'm not mistaken. He interviews on Wednesday, from what I've seen. There's a lot of movement on these interviews, so if I say something that changes, I apologize. There's just a lot of there's a lot of fluctuation in the interviews. So that's all I got for Perry Fewell, Dave. Anything
Now,
else?
one thing I do want to clear up.
Okay.
Perry Fewell was not a Rooney Rule interview
Okay.
because the
That's
Rooney Rule you have to have somebody that isn't on your staff to
interesting.
interview.
I didn't know that. That's a great point. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nice little nugget there.
So I know like a lot of folks on Twitter was talking that Rooney Rule. No, it's got to be somebody that isn't part of your staff.
Yeah.
It used to not be the case, but I think they changed that because that's what teams were doing. It was like, who's the black guy we got on the staff? All right, you interview. Nah, he was not. It was more of a courtesy interview for him because he was the interim head coach.
Yeah. And that's what I think. I think that's what it was.
And he might be the guy if the guy that Tepper wants doesn't come. I'm still on that. I know y'all don't want to hear that.
That's an interesting point though, man. Like there's no if you don't
Like,
get the guy you want, I mean, can we afford? We're gonna be rebuilding anyway. Can you wait it out? Listen, it depends how the chips fall. But I would not be opposed to that. That's a very interesting point, Dave. I'm glad you
all
said
right,
that.
and as for like somebody mentioned about Rivera getting hired on the spot like that in Washington. Well, I don't know if some of you guys realize this, and this is just a joke I hide. Ron Rivera is Hispanic, so he qualifies for the Rooney Rule. He's a minority head coach,
Yeah.
so they don't have to interview anybody else
Some
if that's the
dumb
guy they want.
some dumb Redskins fan said that, yo, we it didn't count towards the Rooney Rule. Yo, bro, do you know that Ron Rivera is Latino? Like, come on, bro. Like, pay attention. That counts too, man. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. I ain't got time. Yo, stupid, man.
Yo,
The
oh, let's go, man. Let's go.
Redskins, man.
Who's the
Jeez.
next coach? Who's
All
the
right,
next coach on the,
moving on.
on the
Moving
list?
on. Moving on. All right. Let's see. Who is next? It's a great question. Josh McDaniels,
Yo,
Dave.
by the way, wait, before you go next,
Too late.
player from the Himalayas, you're right. He was a substitute teacher in a class of badass kids. Like, once Rivera walked out, man, it was pretty much a wrap. Like, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
And I think he knew it was a wrap.
That's
He tried to
that.
put all the pieces he could, and he couldn't.
That's a
what it boiled
that's
down
a
to.
great way to put it. I agree there. That's a very good way to put it. Josh McDaniels, Dave. Let's talk about it. I know Dave lives in Patriot land, so he has a lot of insight into Josh McDaniels and what's going on with the Patriots. But real quick, Dave, before we jump into this, because there's a lot to get into with Josh. Are the Patriots blowing everything up here? Is that what's happening? Are like McDaniels? I've heard GM. I've
Yeah,
heard
they're
Brady
breaking
potentially.
things. They want to move things. They want to move pieces along. People forget Bill Belichick makes all the football decisions.
Right. Yeah.
So they have a GM. They have all these pieces, but the reality is Belichick has the final say in pretty much anything that's involving the personnel on that football team. So um, so yeah, there's gonna be some breakoffs. There's gonna be breakoffs from that end. There's gonna be breakoffs from a standpoint of the potentially because Josh McDaniels wants to be a head coach again, so there's gonna be a potential breakoff with that. Bill's not retiring, so waiting is kind of futile for him from that standpoint. There's the special teams coach is getting some job interviews as well. With regards to the quarterback position with the Patriots, Brady said no hometown discount for you this time.
Get that money, bruh. Cash
So
in.
that dude's about to get his 35. You know what
Cash
I'm
in.
saying? And I think there was a big conflict a few years back before the Patriots traded Jimmy Garoppolo. Um, Belichick wanted to keep Garoppolo, but Brady went to Kraft to tell him, nah, don't do that. And so they had to trade him.
Interesting.
That's why he left.
It'll be very interesting to see if Tom Brady puts on another uniform. That would be very interesting. But all right, let's
Well,
get in.
it
Yeah, nah, I feel you. I see the rumblings. I see it. So let's get into Josh because it's a lot to talk. We got like four more coaches to get into. We only got an hour left, and I want to open up the phone line. Now, I don't want to rush
yep,
it, but let's get into it.
yeah, let's go.
Positives, Dave. Um, so here's just a couple. Running back by committee. We've seen what they've done. Everybody here complains about McCaffrey's usage. I mean, this dude uses running backs in several different ways, shapes, and forms. You look at James White. Could McCaffrey not be the James White in that offense? I mean, come on, like it's perfect fit. They use a lot of running backs, Burkhead, White, Tony Michelle. I mean, they got another dude, the dude they drafted. Hella running
They
backs,
got Brandon Bolden.
a lot of running backs, man. So running back by committee, uh, that's what they do up there. Everybody complains about McCaffrey's usage. There's your answer, okay? In game, he adjusts. He can make in game adjustments. This is what I'm gathering. This is according to my research. Don't like pin it all on me. This is just my research, okay? The slot receiver in that offense excels. You go Edelman, Welker, Amendola. Listen, they make it happen. Could you slide McCaffrey into that role permanently? I mean, just a thought. Just a thought. Just a thought. Just thinking out loud. Tight ends. You got a young tight end, Ian Thomas. We didn't quite see what we had. He can. They know how to use tight ends in that system. Okay. The quick passing routes. And the quick passing routes without sacrificing the big splash plays. That's huge. I mean, you've seen what our offense looks like. I mean, we want to dink and dunk, but there's no big plays in the offense. Josh McDaniels brings that to the Patriots. Uh, Listen, what are your thoughts on the positives, Dave? This is just a couple I was able to come up with doing some research. What are some more positives before we get into the negatives, Dave? Keep it positive, man. You ain't got nothing. We can
Nah,
move
this is
on.
legit. This is legit. The running back by committee positive from a fantasy perspective, I would hate.
Dave, we don't care about your fantasy. You won a Super Bowl,
I
bro.
do.
We won a
No,
Super
I
Bowl.
know, but all right. Yes, yes. We know that Josh McDaniels can run a phenomenal offense. He knows offense left, right, forward, sideways. But all due respect to Josh, I need to get into the negatives because that's
Okay.
where my meat and potatoes are at
Let's
right
let's
now.
get it. Let's get into the negatives. Let's get into the
I need to
negatives.
get to the negatives so
So
we can have these
Dave,
discussions.
Dave,
Because
why?
all these things are valid. I'm not disagreeing with the fact that he knows how to utilize the slot receiver, the tight end, and he knows how to use all the running backs that's on the roster.
Okay, so Dave, tell me why Josh McDaniels is not the guy, should not be the guy in Carolina. Talk about it.
He's already
You don't
proven that he
you don't
can't be
have
a
you don't
head
have
coach.
you don't have to go off my list. Just go off
No,
the
no, no.
dome.
I'm telling. Some of it's relatable. He's already proven that he can't be a head coach. He doesn't know how to motivate players to that standpoint. He's already proven that he can't really do much without Tom Brady. Like anytime he goes without like a legitimate quarterback, so to speak, he ain't really executing like that. He drafted Tim Tebow, man. People forget about that. He drafted Tim Tebow in the first round, man.
Yeah.
He did. That guy. So like and he wants the power. He wants to have power too. Like
Well,
he wants to have player person.
I don't think
He wants to
power.
be like Belichick is in New England
Yeah,
right
but I
now.
don't think that would be completely out the question here in Carolina. You think about it. We have looking for an assistant GM already. We got Hurney with one foot out the door. The coach is going to help hire the GM. That's a lot of power in itself. So I don't think what he's asking for in Carolina is not complete. That's not going to be out the question, in my opinion.
I know it's not, but that's the
I'm just
concern, right?
saying.
Like
I'm just saying.
I don't want him
Yeah, I
getting
got
the
you.
groceries.
Understood. Understood.
I don't,
You just want to
because he's shown that he hasn't been able to.
you just want him to
Like,
you just don't want him to be the Instacart dude, just to bring you the groceries, but not like
no,
pick them out. You don't want him making
no,
no decisions. You just want him to go get it off the shelf.
yeah, but then I'm concerned about how he can lead a. It's one thing when you're just trying to lead one side of the team. It's nothing when you got to lead all three.
Yeah, that's a good point. Slim is saying that Spygate actually happened in Denver too, and that was on
It
Josh.
did.
They took a penalty for that, so that that whole situation is not just a Patriots isolated thing here. That's a great point. And then people are also bringing up the Indianapolis
He
thing,
didn't.
how he left
Yo,
Indianapolis hanging. So go ahead, Dave.
he didn't. He didn't. He didn't get fired in Denver for cheating. He got fired in Denver because he had an incident with his corners. Like people, there's a false perception about what happened in Denver. That was part of it, but the real reason why he got fired is because there was an issue. There was a scuffle with Champ Bailey and another cornerback during practice.
Yeah,
So
and
there was more to it of why he got fired.
yeah, and then if you go back and just to hit that last bullet about the former players, if you go YouTube, Josh McDaniel in Denver, they've got a former player that just kind of rails on him. He says he's not the type of coach that that you would want to just play for, and that's kind of what That's the exact opposite kind of what we had in Rivera. We had a players coach. They're saying Josh McDaniels, while he's X's and O's, he's good. It's just that people don't want to play for him, and so that's a problem. We don't want that here in Carolina. And again, we want a guy that's going to be here for 5 years plus, right? Give the man time. I don't think he's the right guy. I'm good on Josh McDaniels. Uh,
All right,
Go ahead,
but
Dave.
I want to talk about one more thing
Sure, sure.
because your bullet, the curse of the Bill Belichick assistants.
Yeah.
We got 108 people watching this show. So chat cats, name me some assistants from Bill Belichick that have been successful. Name me a couple.
I couldn't tell you.
No, I just want you to name me a couple. Because I know one of you guys are going to say one of them, and I'm going to shoot it down immediately. But name me a couple. Bill O'Brien. Yes, Bill O'Brien is legitimate. Bill O'Brien's legitimate. But then you ask Texas fans, they're not a big fan of O'Brien, but he's executing. He's probably the only one. Mike Vrabel did not come through Belichick. He was on O'Brien's staff. He played for Belichick.
So does that count?
Mm,
Playing for a guy? I'm
you
asking.
count
I don't
players
know.
too?
I'm asking. I don't know. I'm not making
Vrabel didn't coach for
the
Bill.
coaching tree rule.
Now, Vrabel didn't coach for Bill. And yeah, some people think O'Brien's getting bailed out by his talent.
But
So, like,
O'Brien,
but I can name a bunch that didn't work out, and there were some pretty good coaches like Romeo Cornell. He didn't work out. I mean, you can roll with Charlie Weiss if you like, but no, you don't have to. Your boy that works for ESPN right now, Eric, what's his name? Eric Mangini. Your boy Eric Mangini, he didn't work out. Look what's going on with Matt Patricia out in Detroit. I
yeah,
mean,
Patricia is struggling out there. So yeah, man. No, I mean, it's great points. All great points. But I'm good on
Saban, somebody named Saban. Saban's first run at the NFL did not work out that well,
awful.
sir.
Yeah,
That's why he's back in Alabama.
it was awful. It was awful. It was awful. But all right, so I think we got enough evidence to prove that Josh McDaniels should not be the guy. Are we? Can Panther Nation agree? Are we all in agreement? I think it's time.
Nah. Lokesman might not
Well,
agree.
he'll call in later. He'll call in
He'll
later.
call in though.
Let's
We're gonna let my man Cole
let's
call
move
in.
on
Though.
because
No.
we got a few more guys.
I don't want him. Truth be told, I think I'd rather deal with Fewell than him.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I wouldn't go with that. I don't know
I
about that.
would.
Let me
Because
digest
at
that.
least here's my thing with Fewell, man. Whoever's gonna get this Carolina job is gonna be here for the long term. The moment that Belichick retires, if McDaniels gets picked for this job, the moment that Belichick retires, he's gone.
Who,
He's
McDaniels?
gone. He's already shown that he's not committal. He freaking took the job in Indianapolis and turned the plane back
Yeah,
before they announced him.
that's terrible. Yeah, you can't do a team dirty
So
like
yo, man,
Yeah.
no, I'm good. I'm all set. All set with him.
All right, Dave does not like Josh McDaniels.
I
And
don't.
for the record, Josh McDaniels interviews tomorrow, Dave. It's tomorrow. They moved it from Friday.
Oh, they moved it up
Yeah,
because
they
oh,
moved
God,
it up from
crazy.
Friday to tomorrow. So, yep. So we'll get to interview him before the Browns do. All signs do point to the Browns. That's who they want. I think the stars align for McDaniels and the Browns. But one other thing I did want to bring up with Josh McDaniels though is that the Patriots GM Nick Caserio is also available. Okay, he's going to be available. So the coach, according to Tepper, will have the rights and the ability to bring in the GM. So things could line up to where you could bring in that package in. I I think that works for two teams, Carolina and the Browns. There's the only two teams that have that that GM coach search going on right now. So, and there's some other guys that they're going to bring in, director of player personnel. A couple guys from the Patriots also could be brought in. So there's a nice little package that could be brought from the Patriots. And what does Tepper say? I want to stay in winning. I want to stay in winning. And I think Tepper in his mind is thinking that, hey, he learned from Bill Belichick. Bring that here. I just think that's the wrong idea. But I'm telling you the way Tepper might be thinking. I don't agree with it, but I'm just telling you what he might be thinking. All right. So just wanted to put that out there because it is something that is true. We are looking for a GM, and their Patriot GM is available, even though Belichick does make those decisions. Just saying. All right, moving on. Matt Rhule. Okay, Matt Rhule, Dave. We know Dave is solely against college coaches. And let's get into let's before we do that, let's get into some positives, Dave. Some positives.
Yeah, man. Look, man. I have my opinion on the college coach. I mean, I don't. I think college coaches aren't as committal as NFL coaches are. Now, and he's been in the NFL for 1 year, so like but I don't. That's not enough for me. It's more of a college guy.
Yeah, so I'll give him points for collegiate resume. He has turned, he deserves credit. He's turned around a couple programs. Give him credit for that. And I think what based on the way he handled the whole Baylor and the way he talked to his players, and I think the players respect him. I don't have much positive. I just couldn't. There's nothing that screams, "Give me this guy." Um, that's all that's all only positives I got. That's all I could come up with. If sustain winning uh, in college, I mean, I don't know.
But the thing is, he had Temple and Baylor. Like, I mean, I get it. Temple, for him to turn around Temple is impressive. I'm not going to even lie.
Listen,
But
I would have loved him at Florida State. Loved him, but just NFL, I don't know. But anyway, let's get into the negatives and why I think it's not a good fit for Carolina. But two things happened. So I got the inability to win big games. Obviously, I had my eye on the Sugar Bowl where Georgia destroyed them. With the score didn't make it seem as bad as it looked, but the Georgia Bulldogs were destroying Baylor. The inability to win big games is a big one. The Big 12 championship, where they had the opportunity to make it to the playoffs, they couldn't close the deal and couldn't close the deal against Georgia Bulldogs. Um, against the Georgia Bulldog team that was depleted with guys making business decisions not to play because they were declaring for the draft. Didn't have they're missing like 3 or 4 offensive linemen, starting offensive linemen. They were missing. I think their running back Swift only played one down. There was a lot going on. It was a perfect opportunity for Baylor to come in and win that game, and I just wanted to see a better performance from Rhule out of that game. Not that I'm judging him off of one game. It's just I'm judging him based off the big games. Can you win the big games? And I just haven't seen that with Matt Rhule. And then the lack of NFL experience for me. He's only been a coach. He was assistant coach for 1 year with the Giants, and that transition to the NFL is tough. Even Tepper said it himself. Um, what did he say? Tepper said something to the effect that he understands that the college, the transition from college to NFL is tough, but he wouldn't overlook it. And I think with this interview, he's just covering his bases. And I do think Rhule, if he's gonna come to the NFL, is on his way to the Giants. So
yes. So yeah, that's the thing, right? So we interview Rule tomorrow.
yes.
So if the only way Rule's coming is if we give him an offer he cannot refuse
No,
before he
I
leaves
thought we
Carolina.
interviewed him today.
No, I thought we interviewed him today.
I thought we did.
All right.
I thought it was today. He was on the schedule
I
for
don't have the
today.
schedule in front of me.
Yeah, he was on the schedule for today, and it could have changed. And McDaniels on the schedule for tomorrow. Perry Fewell is on the schedule for Wednesday, and we'll get into other guys.
Okay, we did it today. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if he ain't left with an offer today, he's going to New York if he's going anywhere.
No, I think he's going to New York anyway. I think that's what they
You think
want.
so? You don't think he'll go back to Baylor?
No, I think he's going to
Governor
New
might
York.
convince him otherwise. You know that.
No, I think he's going to New York. He's from New York. I think that's where he wants to be. He was assistant coach there. If he's gonna take a job, that's gonna be the job. Anyway, so moving on from Matt Rhule. That's all I got for Rhule. I don't think he's the guy here. Moving on. All right, Dave. Let's talk about it. Kevin Stefanski up next.
Mm.
Talk about it, Dave. What's
I will say he is leaped higher on my list.
yeah.
Yeah, he's probably jumped up all the way to two.
2 for you?
Two.
He's number 1 on my list, Dave. Number
I
1.
know he is.
Easy.
There's one concern I have with him.
Okay. Well, can you hold it till we get to the negatives?
Sure.
All right. Hold on till we get to the negatives. Whoops. All right. Let's talk about these positives. Um, he's got a long tenure with the Vikings. He's done a lot of jobs with the Vikings. Okay. And he's been around a long time. I think he started working with the Vikings. If I'm not mistaken. If he was when he was 24. So he's been around the Vikings for a long time. He's seen AP, been around some great things in with the Vikings for a long time. So he has NFL experience uh, uh, in his back pocket. All right. So number two, he knows how to beat the Saints, Dave. That's a huge positive, right? He can
Oh
beat the
yeah.
Saints. He's shown he can beat the Saints. Something that Rivera didn't do very often. But hey, listen, he can beat the Saints. Granted, it's obvious we don't have their personnel, but I think he knows how to coach. All right, I think he gets the best from below average quarterbacks. Talk about Cousins, you talk about Keenum. I think he makes it easy on those guys, surrounding them with talent, and just imagine what he could do with a potential Hall of Fame quarterback, or with him being able to pick his own guy. I don't think he's had the opportunity to pick. He might have had input on bringing Cousins there. I don't know. I don't know if that to be true or not. But just imagine him having the ability to pick his own guy. Uh, Never know. And he's young. He's 37 years old. Um, and that's is what Tepper was talking about. When a young guy. So he's young. You look at the trend of what's going on with the young quarterbacks in the league. McVay,
Yeah,
Shanahan. Go ahead.
but there's more to it. There's more to it than that.
Go ahead.
The franchise that Tepper was a minority owner on, historically, they've hired all their coaches in their 30s.
They
They
fired.
hired Cowher in their 30s.
Okay,
They
yeah, no,
hired
that's
Tomlin
great.
in their 30s.
Exactly.
They
You
hired all like
follow the
their
blueprint
last set of coaches were hired within their
and
in their
keep them
30s,
there. You hire them in the 30s and keep them there,
and they stay.
and just stay, man. You gotta let them build. And experience. He's got experience with similar skill positions. You look at Thielen, you look at Diggs, you look at Cook and Rudolph. I mean, you could line those up with the four guys we got, and I'm not saying they're they're equal, but they're similar. Okay, you look at Cooks and McCaffrey, Diggs and Curtis Samuel, Thielen and DJ Moore. It's it's similar to me. And Rudolph, I don't know. We don't have I was gonna say Greg Olson, but he might be moving on. We don't know. And then Slim says he's an Ivy League grad, so that's what
Tepper,
Tepper wants.
Tepper's about that
That's
life,
Tepper's
man.
thing. So I think this is a great situation. I think it's the best coach. I think to me he's number one on my list. If you gave me the opportunity to make the hire, this is it. He's the guy. He's the guy. Dave, you want to talk about some negatives?
His tenure with the Vikings, the fact that he's been there a while, makes you wonder if he can transition over to a new franchise.
I mean that was my number one concern actually. My number
Okay,
one concern.
that's where I'm at. Like that's my only concern with him.
Yeah. No,
Steady
I
Joe.
agree. I agree. Can he transition to a new roster? He's been around that roster so long. He knows what he has in that talent. Coming to a new roster, can he evaluate the talent and then design an offense to best fit what we have, and then at the same time get what he needs personnel wise to make what he wants? Does that make sense to everybody? Like it's a delicate balance because you got to be successful in the near term, but then also build towards what you want in the far in the future. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Listen, it's not a deal breaker for me at all. It's just a concern. And then from what I'm hearing from Vikings fans is that he's a stubborn play caller. I don't watch the Vikings enough for that to be true. This is what I'm hearing from Vikings fans. Listen, he calls what he calls and he'll stick with it. He definitely you can watch that game
You know
against
who
the
that
Saints.
sounds like, right?
Rivera, yeah, that's why a lot of people are concerned with that because it's very close to Rivera, and not saying that Rivera was calling plays, but that idea keep you're the head coach. At the end of the day, it falls on you. So, um, listen, if you watch, you can kind of see it if you go and um, look at the Saints game. He stuck with the run. I mean, they were having trouble running the ball, and he just kept running and kept running. But I'll say
Yeah, but
this,
it made sense. It made that from that standpoint, it
yeah.
made sense against the Saints.
Yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because it's about ball control. You want to keep the ball out of Breeze's hands, so I'll give him that point there. So, listen, I'm just reporting from what the Vikings fan base says. This is not for me, but anyway, Dave, any more concerns for Stefanski?
Nah, man. Like I said, he's second on my list. He moved up.
Stefanski is one on my list, and he interviews on Thursday. I think he interviews with the Browns as well, and I want to say that's his only other interview. I could be wrong on that, but that's the only other team I've seen him linked to. So if you look at it, I think it's been a real hush on Stefanski, maybe because that's Tepper knows that's his guy, and he wants to keep it kind of low. But I'm not sure. Let me know. Let me know if you've seen him linked to any other positions. I know he's interviewing the Browns are interviewing everybody and their mom.
There ain't too many teams left.
I think I got an interview with the Browns tomorrow too. I mean them dudes hiring everybody. I mean interviewing everybody. So
Yeah, because they got to convince somebody to go there.
yeah,
They're a dumpster fire.
yeah. I think, but okay. So and then we're not gonna talk about Mike McCarthy.
Remember,
But
guys, there's
okay,
only three teams left without a coach. So you can't be interview like these guys can't be interviewing with too many other teams,
true.
right?
But I mean, even before that, right? He could interview
Yeah,
with the uh, with the Cowboys, and obviously the Redskins did their thing. But yeah, I think we're gonna interview Stefanski, and I think the job during that interview, I think it's gonna be his to lose. He can knock it out the park and get hired. Um,
yo, I'm gonna need somebody to explain to me why folks think that the Browns is a more desirable job than our job. I need to understand.
I don't know, man.
That owner's reckless, dude. I need to understand
I don't know.
because the owner's already shown that he can't keep a head coach to save his life. I mean, he ain't on the team that long. He's probably had like 5 or 6 head coaches. It's
Yeah,
more than, but the thing is that the better roster don't mean anything if you don't keep a coach. I don't understand. I don't get it.
all right. I appreciate that guy to
But moving on.
blackness. Appreciate that guy to blackness. The soundbite didn't play, man. It's cool. Moving
Shout
on.
out to God of Blackness, man.
Moving on. Eric Bieniemy. Eric B.
My
I
guy.
think this is Dave's guy. I'm gonna let you
My
have
guy
it. Let's
right
talk
here.
about positives. Let's talk about positives. Go ahead, Dave.
This is my guy, man. Look, the Andy Reid tree is strong. The Andy Reid tree is strong. And he knows how to develop a quarterback. But that Andy Reid tree is strong, guys. Really strong. Now I know some of you guys might be hesitant because you see Ron Rivera on that tree, but look at them other guys too. You got 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks in that tree, and that's crazy, man. Because Andy Reid doesn't have a ring yet, which is so
It's
unfortunate.
crazy. It is crazy. All his pupils out here getting W's, and he can't even get
They
one
are
his
out
damn
here
self.
getting this jewelry, and Nagy, yo, the jury's out on Nagy. Like that ain't fair on Nagy yet. Let's get Nagy a quarterback, and then we can like, have a discussion. It's not. I don't think that's fair on Nagy yet. So yeah, like Andy Reid's trophy tree is pretty damn good from that standpoint. So and he yeah, the former player thing is huge too because he was a running back in the NFL.
He was. That's huge. The former player thing is huge. I think that when you're a former player, you just garner respect from your coaches. I mean, from your players, excuse me. And I think that's why Ron Rivera was so loved in the locker room is because he was a former player. So I think that is a big plus, a huge. I think he's the only former player, uh, if I'm not mistaken, that is on the list. I think.
Yeah, I don't think McDaniels played,
I'm not.
not in the NFL.
I don't quote me on that, but I think he's the only former player, which is huge, and that brings in that old school toughness, which what Tepper's been talking about, old school toughness mixed with adopting new school principles as far as analytics goes. But yeah, man, I love it. I love it. I like Eric B. Eric Bieniemy is number two for me. I would not be mad. I want Stefanski, but he's a close two. He's a close two. Um,
This is the guy I want. I won't be mad if it's Stefanski though. Like I'm the same way. Like if one of those if one of those last 2 coaches ends up on the roster, I'm cool. I'm cool. And they've already interviewed this guy twice.
Yeah, he got. Did he get 2 interviews? I
I
think.
heard.
Yeah, I think he did
I
get.
know.
I think he did get a follow up. I think he did get a follow up.
Yeah.
All right.
Like those are pretty much the only two coaches I'm cool with at this point. Him or Stefanski. I don't. I'm not interested in anybody else. I'm gonna be honest with you. And truth be told, I don't think Tepper is either.
I don't know. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I don't think I'm gonna be. I don't think Tepper is either, man. I think, and that's why I said Fewell could be an option if we don't get one of our guys.
We'll
Now,
see.
as for the concern for Eric B, I'm not too worried about him not calling plays in Kansas City. You know why? Because he's the head coach. He doesn't have to call plays. He can let his coordinators do his coordinator's job.
That's true. Depending on who the staff. That's just a good point. But when you
So
hire an
I
offensive
see
guy,
people are like super worried about this. I'm not, and the reason why I'm not is because he's gotten the trust of Andy Reid, and that's a tough thing to get on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm not too worried about it.
yeah, man, that's all I got for Eric Bieniemy. I think it'd be a good hire either way. I think him and Stefanski 1A, 1B. I would not be mad, but those other guys are completely out of question. And like everybody's been saying, we dodged a bullet with Mike McCarthy, who was hired by the Dallas Cowboys without even talking to anybody else. And that's just a product. I mean, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Wait, repeat that again. Repeat
I
that
mean, they
again.
talked to Marvin Lewis, but they didn't
Well, you
hire.
know why they talked to Marvin
Well,
Lewis.
exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly right. So I mean, I mean, that's just a look at the organization. You have to do your due diligence on, and that's why I don't mind Tepper talking to a Josh McDaniels, talking to a Matt Rhule. You have to do your due diligence. You might hear something that you could take. You know what I'm saying? So like, you always got to interview you guys, do the due diligence, and see what happens. Um, it doesn't mean just because you get an interview doesn't mean you're going to be hired.
So, Lokes, man, I want you to marinate on this when you call in. I'm gonna ask you a question. It's very important. I want you to hear it. It needs to be clear. So, yes, Mike McCarthy's in Dallas. The only question I have for you is this: is Aaron Rodgers coming with him?
Mm. Mm.
Now, everybody talking about, Mike McCarthy, 13 years in Green Bay, made the playoffs 9 times. Do that, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for coaches. Dave, let's talk real quick about Wade
I'm laughing at
Phillips.
something.
Let's.
Mar- Marvin trolled them back saying he would hire Hugh Jackson.
I did hear that though. I did. I did. I did hear that.
Yo, that's the only interview he got. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's like the dude made the Bengals relevant again. And that's the other thing. Like, everybody's saying, oh, so like Lokes wants McCarthy. What has McCarthy built? He didn't build anything. He inherited Brett Favre and had Aaron Rodgers at the wings.
So
That's my thing.
what you saying? What you saying is Dak isn't either.
Well, I'm not saying Dak's a good quarterback. I'm not saying Dak's terrible. But once again, it goes back to what I just said. He's about to walk into a talented Dallas Cowboys roster.
Yeah, that roster's talented. That's
Yo,
true.
you're not gonna know how good of a coach this guy truly is. He's never walked into a situation like he didn't walk into what Ron walked into when he came to Carolina, or what Ron's
Nah,
walking into right now in Washington.
it's true.
He ain't walking into those things. He's walking into, oh, I got a Hall of Fame quarterback in Brett Favre, and then I got Aaron Rodgers at the helm.
And now I got
I
Dak
mean, come
and
on,
Zeke.
man.
All right, real quick, Dave. We got to talk about Wade Phillips. He was relieved of his duties, or did not. They did not extend his contract on the Rams. That is. So I know we need a head coach, but if you look just at what the blueprint is, um, especially if you hire like a guy like Stefanski or Eric Bieniemy, you paired an experienced defensive coordinator slash he's got head coach experience too. Pair them up just as an advisor. You know what I'm saying? Help them out a little bit. Wade Phillips, I think it'd be a great Great thing. I think Wade knows how to coach um, defense. It'd be great. I would love to have Wade Phillips as defensive coordinator, and I hope we get an opportunity to bring him in,
Listen,
because it would be
I
great.
understand.
Because then you're
I
talking about
understand.
you're probably gonna bring in Akeem Talib. He's probably gonna bring some guys with him that know his system. Uh, so I know Akeem is old, but shit, as a
He knows the
stopgap,
system.
he knows the system exactly. So, um, but yeah. Anyway, I just want to put that out there. He's gonna bring some guys with him that know his system on the defense.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Wade. I could see him come whether we hire Eric B or
I don't.
Stefanski.
Okay, I was gonna say not before though. At least let them make that call.
It'd be nice if we. It'd be nice if we can get him before.
You can't. No, you
But
can't do that. You can't do that. You can't.
nah, I
You
know.
can't hire Wade Phillips before you have a coach. You gotta let. Hey, you can kind of impart and say, hey, I want you to hire Wade. I think he's a good defensive coordinator. Let him run the show on the defensive side. You focus on the offensive side. But you can't hire him first. You can't do that.
Would I accept Josh McDaniels if he brought Wade with him?
I don't know, man. I think that's kind of because of the GM and the whole personnel people that could come with Josh McDaniels. I really think that could happen. Now, I do agree that it's more likely to happen in I would say this in likelihood of actually happening. I think it's gonna be I think it's one probably Stefanski, two McDaniels, three Bieniemy in that order. It with likelihood of actually happening. I think because McDaniels has that GM and the player personnel, all the stuff, people around him that he could bring, and you don't have to hire him. Like you don't have to go search. He's gonna bring them with him. I just think that's a checkbox that Tepper won't have to worry about. But I don't know. That's just me speculating. I don't have any news. Just me.
Yeah, I don't know how long Wade wants to do this either.
No, he
Wade's
says he
72
wants to
years
coach,
old.
bro. He in his tweet he tweeted, bro.
No, I don't mean like from the. I'm talking, but past this year, right? I'm
Wait,
thinking like next year, the year after that type of thing.
wait, give
So
me,
like,
wait, give me 4 years, bro. Give me 4 years.
Jesus Christ,
I
man,
know
this
he's
ain't the president.
70.
This ain't the president.
He's 72, B. But give me 4 years, Wade. You could do it. You could do it, man. Just
You want this man to be the DC for 4 years?
yo, give me 4 years, bro, because I think that's the
How about we
window.
get somebody to group that's going to be groomed under him?
Yeah, of course, I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
No, I
like
agree.
have
Have
Wade
Perry
and
there. Keep Perry there as a D backs. Bring in Wade, and then have Wade Perry come in and take that DC from him later. But I just you give me 4 years, Wade, and I think that's our window. But that's all I got. So that's all I got for coaches. I think. Yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna open up these phone lines and we'll get to the peeps. Let me see.
everybody's got a bag, but no bag is bigger than Tepper's. He's the richest owner in the NFL. Because that's what freaking Jerry Jones did, man. You know what I'm saying? Mike McCarthy stayed at Jerry Jones's house
That's crazy.
before he signed him.
That's crazy to me,
And that's
man.
why, like, yo, man, like, I understand the purpose of the Rooney Rule. I understand why the Rooney Rule exists. But when things like that happens, it's a freaking joke. And that's just my opinion on it.
It's Jay Simp.
What's up, man?
Jay Simp was
How we
good.
doing?
Good, bro. What's going on?
I'm glad the season's finally over. I could
Oops.
those last 4 weeks, man, that was awful. Getting outscored 150 to 60. Whew. But that's over. We're on to the coaches. I'm gonna go quickly here. My my top three would be Eric B, Stefanski, and then Josh. Maybe in that order. Maybe Stefanski first. I'm not really sure between him and Eric, but those are definitely my top two. I think I'm definitely where Dave is. Like, if we can't get those two, everybody else is kind of ed to me. But my reservations, and I want to add on to the point that you were making with Stefanski and Rashad, is this. He was the interim offensive coordinator in Minnesota during 2018. That year, the Vikings had the 20th ranked offense. This year, they have the 16th ranked offense. What big change happened? One thing that has to be noted is Gary Kubiak was hired as some type of special. He has a special role, like offensive assistant or something like that.
Right.
And they completely changed their running game.
Yes.
And now they went from last year to 30th in rushing to this year to 6th in rushing. Like, that's a huge change that we have to talk about, and we can't give that credit to Stefanski because he didn't do it. It's 100% Gary Kubiak, his influence on that offense. Yes, Stefanski's calling the plays, putting the plays together. I get all that, but you cannot underestimate that change that happened in Minnesota. With Josh, I just want to add to this. Why do we care that if we get Josh, that, okay, we can get Nick, I think the guy's name is Nick Caserio, he comes with it? Why tell me why, what, and maybe y'all know, and please don't, I will wait for y'all to fill me in, but what move has he made as part of the vice president of player personnel in New England that you can point to and say Nick Caserio did that?
No, you can't. No, I agree. You
None.
can't. You can't. But that's not the
Thank
point.
you.
No,
I
agree with. No. I agree with you. There's nothing because Bill runs the house. But that's not the point. That's not the point though. That's not the point. You got to look at it from the owner's perspective. He wants to pull from that tree. If they're successful, hey, they were in the house. They know what's going on. They might not have done it, but they know the thought process behind it. And so you kind of want to duplicate that. And so that it's not more so getting the guy. And that's why you hire that's why people hire. I mean, you could say the same thing about Eric Bieniemy. Can you not?
No, absolutely. Because he's not calling plays in
yeah, you're not.
Right, the thing about Eric, man, just because that man ain't calling plays,
I agree with you, Dave. That's not the point. That's not the point whether he can or can't. That's irrelevant. My point was, the overarching point was that you hire people because they have access to people that know what the hell they're doing, and so you want to try to replicate that here at another in Carolina. You want to take that thought process and bring it here. It's not the fact that they did it. I'm pushing back a little bit on what Jay Simp is saying, and not to say that I agree with it. I'm just telling you the thought process behind it.
No, and I completely understand, and I agree with all I'm saying is, and I think we're both saying the same thing. It's a legitimate concern. It's a legitimate concern with Eric B that he hasn't called plays because we've seen what the last two offensive coordinators that come out of Kansas City have done. Granted, Nagy doesn't have a quarterback, but Doug Peterson's offenses haven't been all that great the last 2 years. They got hot and won a Super Bowl. That's the legitimate truth about it. And it's the same legitimate concern that I have with, okay, so Nick Caserio comes to the Patriots, that's cool and dandy, but Bill Belichick makes those calls.
Facts.
The way that Bill Belichick was ready to move on from Tom Brady, and it looks like, he was right about Tom and could have had Jimmy G there. We see that. But Nick, I don't know you from yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Who are you? What decisions have you made? You're gonna have to show me a resume other than you the being part of a great organization. It's just pointing out a legitimate concern. I think that we're on the same page there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think if you want to talk about what's going on in Patriots land, I have a feeling that Belichick could potentially walk, but I didn't want to get into that.
Yeah, we'll say
no,
that.
absolutely.
We'll say that.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, because I think there's a legitimate scenario that if Belichick, I don't think Belichick wants Brady there next year. And I think he's going to get overridden. That's going to be the moment that's going to cut him off.
Yeah, Kraft is definitely has to, and I don't want to get too deep into Patriots stuff.
Yeah,
but
let's
he's going to
not.
have to decide between Brady or Belichick this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'll leave with this because I know y'all got people behind me. I'm doing write-ups similar kind of what you did on every candidate. I'll have the Eric B one's already up. I just finished Matt Rhule. It's up and published, but I'll tweet it out probably tomorrow morning. To be honest with you, I'm not even going to focus on writing one on Perry Fewell.
That's why I left him off the picture,
Sorry,
dude.
but
Now I feel you.
so those will all be up.
Sorry.
But for me, yeah, it's Eric B or it's Kevin Stefanski.
I agree.
Shout out to Zeppa. Appreciate the subscription, man.
All right, man.
I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.
All right, bro.
Thanks, Jason.
All right,
We got
241.
rolling, man. Who's next?
How y'all doing?
What's up, man? No, what's good?
Nothing much.
How you feeling, man?
Can't complain. Hey, feeling great. It's an exciting time. Couple of things I want to hit on about Stefanski. I think we got to keep in mind he is under Mike Zimmer, who is 61 and defensive-minded, quite conservative, and Gary Kubiak as well. So in certain situations, they probably have quite a bit of say. Zimmer's probably in his ear like, hey, we need to run the ball here. We need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at everything Tepper said in his exit interview, Stefanski fits like a glove.
I agree.
I mean, young offensive mind. You've covered it all. So to me, that is why he is my number one. Okay? It's because he fits, and he would have a little longer leash because he's 37, and we could, grow. The team could grow along as he's growing. I have a little bit of concerns about can he motivate guys and all that, but from what I've researched, players love him. They love his game plans, and he can relate to the players. It may be a little more calm demeanor, but whatever. Number two for me is Eric Bieniemy. I don't even see why people are afraid of the play calling. To me, a lot of this is also the eye test. You know he's ready. Watch this man do an interview. He is a head coach ready to go. If Andy Reid is giving you control, the man is long overdue. So if we got Eric Bieniemy, I already know he's going to command the room. It will just be how fast we can turn around. Okay? That is, now gets to my three. Main reason why I call because we've been going at it in the chat about Rhule. I'm not even going to bring up Josh McDaniels, okay? I don't want McCarthy. I'm glad he's gone. I'm not going to bring up McDaniels. That dude is trash. I don't want any part of him. I do not want any part of Josh McDaniels. Part of me might even take Steve Wilkes over Josh McDaniels. I don't want anything to do with Josh McDaniels.
But
so
will you take Perry?
To be honest, I may take an L for a year and take Perry over Josh McDaniels. I don't want that proven failure. It's the same guy that drafted Tim Tebow in the first round.
That's where I'm at.
Come on, bro.
I can't get over that one.
No.
Besides the fact that it's a Patriots assistant, and he pretty much tried to go without Bill, and he failed without Bill, and he had to come back under Bill.
I don't want, especially what he did with Indy last year. You accept a job, and then last second you just pull away, completely unprofessional. I mean, I can get over that, but no. As soon as I remember when he was in Denver, he took Tim Tebow, and I was a Tebow fan in college, but I thought that dude was going to go second round at best, maybe, but I just a proven failure, like Slim has said. I want no parts of him. I'm not even going to talk about his negative positive. To me, okay, Matt Rhule is clearly third, okay? We can argue about the distance between number 3 and 2. That's fine. But you got to understand, I get it. There's a stat I was looking at the other day. Out of the past 9 college coaches that have been hired in the NFL, apparently 2 have won a playoff game within their first 2 or 3 years. Okay? And one of them did it within his first year, and that was Jim Harbaugh. So there is a terrible track record, and I don't blame you for not wanting a college coach. But with all the research,
but here's the thing about you know what the thing about that stat that's interesting, and you said Jim Harbaugh was the only one that did it in this first year.
Chip Kelly's the other one.
Huh? Who?
Chip Kelly.
I think he did it. I forget what year, but go ahead.
Yeah. So the thing about Harbaugh that was interesting is that Harbaugh played in the league for a very long time.
That's true.
And he had a different type of fire in him, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My thing, though, is Rhule is a little different in a sense that he did get the most out of his players. When he was at Temple, just some of the dudes I was reading off of, he had Tavon Young. He had Hassan Reddick, Deion Dawkins. He did everything he could to get the Anderson dude from the Jets back at Temple, and now look at Anderson. He had Matt Ioannidis. Like he had I don't know if he was there for Muhammad Wilkerson, but like he has gotten the most out of players. And I get it; it's a big jump. That's why to me he is third. But like you got to remember, this dude. So he went to Baylor. His first year went 1-11. You know he got an interview for the Colts after that 1-11 season because like word was already out in the league. This guy is going to be a future head coach. So like he, to me, if we were to get him, it is a clear win over McDaniels. It is a clear win over. If we cannot secure Stefanski and Eric Bieniemy, which I don't know see why we can't, Rule would be a clear win if again he's willing to come here. It's just I get your concern, but you don't just turn things around like that without being successful. And again, he may not, be as good as Stefanski or EB would be long term. But I think it means something that like he's turned these programs around, and he's not doing it with like talent, that much talent. I mean, he's at Temple and Baylor. If he was at Oklahoma or Alabama or LSU and he wasn't getting it turned around, okay, that'd be one thing. But I wouldn't be so anti-Rule if we don't get Stefanski or Eric Bieniemy. That's what I mainly wanted to say.
It's a 2-horse race, man. I feel you. It's 2-horse race.
Oh no,
I'm good.
but no doubt.
No, it is.
I want Stefanski. I want Stefanski. Don't get it twisted. If that doesn't work, I want Bieniemy. But to me, clearly, Rule would be a third best option. I'm not even putting McDaniels or Fewell in there. Like that's just.
Now, I'm kind of like when it comes to my rankings, it's pretty much Eric B, Stefanski,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, all right, I'm good because like the coaching pool isn't that strong. There aren't too many
Mm-hmm.
head coaching like available slots as it is. So I
Mm-hmm.
could. There's a legitimate scenario that I'm going to get to walk away with one of those two.
Yeah.
Because I don't see. I think Cleveland's probably going to do McDaniels.
If not him, they're gonna do some wild stuff.
They're
Something
going to do
wild.
something stupid. Like
Yeah.
they're going to do something
I
dumb.
know.
They're not going to
Brian
hire Eric
Dabble.
B. They're not going to hire Eric B. And they're not going to hire Stefanski. So I'm not worried about Cleveland. Then you got the Giants. It's looking like Rule's going to go to the Giants, right? That's
Okay.
what the path is. It looks
Yes.
like. All
Yo,
right. So
Yes.
hey,
Rule's
these dudes are
gone.
killing Rule
Browns
in the.
ain't gonna be smart enough to take the other two guys, and then there's us.
Yeah, and that's
Yo,
why I think it's a two-horse race because he literally has to. Because to me, we have all these qualifications we want, but you got the interview's important. That's where Tepper is going to be sold. So unless Rule is like by far and away just blows Tepper out of the water, out of the candidates out of the water, which I don't think he will. I think it's going to be between those two. And again, I'm happy it's one of those two. Like we were worried about Mike McCarthy and Josh McDaniels, and look where we are now. So we're super close.
all right, I gotta move on, but yo, they killing Rule in the chat. My man said, Marcus
Ja
said,
Rule.
Oh,
Ja.
they don't know what
mentioned
they're
Ja
talking
Rule.
about. That's fine.
My man
Ja
Ja.
Rule, ain't nobody.
Ja Rule is the Mike McCarthy of hip hop.
Yo, that's funny. He said Ja Rule got less L's on his resume. That's funny. But no, I gotta move on, bro. I got a couple more calls I gotta
All
get
right.
to.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
See you, buddy.
Let's
Who's
let's
next?
do 257.
Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? It's Eddie.
Eddie, what's good,
Eddie,
bro?
what's up, man?
Hey, yo, happy holidays to y'all. One thing I noticed when I was just looking up some stuff was, I guess, just trying to figure out team-wise, especially draft-wise, because these guys, these coaches do come in and, I guess, decide on players to, on people to add, with them being, I guess, the top two being Stefanski or Bieniemy. They could decide to go wide receiver in the first round just to get that more weapons. Like, they come from teams that have a lot of weapons. So how would y'all feel about that? They came in and said, "Nah, I want a CeeDee Lamb or a Judy in the first round."
I wouldn't be
because
mad.
I come from. That's just what that allows for us to do more in offense.
Listen, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no idea. I wouldn't. It depends who it is. I can't see I would be like completely mad. But that would probably mean that Curtis Samuel is gonna walk next year because I think this is contract year this year. So I don't know, man. I guess it would depend who it is. Got to see the combine numbers too. That has a lot to do with it. But I can't say I wouldn't be completely mad. I don't know. Cause I'm listen. I've already said what I said about the offensive line. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna take some time for the offensive line. They're gonna give those guys on the roster a shot. So I don't expect it to be an offensive line guy, but I do. It depends on how it falls. But if Derek Brown is there, he's got to be your guy. I don't even need to see. He cannot participate in the combine, and I'm taking Derek Brown to 7 if he's available. But it just depends on how it flows. Just depends how it flows. I don't know.
Right,
I
because I
can't.
mean,
I wouldn't be mad.
I was just doing some research, just looking up, and I mean, they both of the Chiefs and the Vikings, both of them didn't come from like, oh, we have dominant O lines. Most of the time we have a pretty average O line, but we just have the weapons to be able to move the ball down the field. So that's just something I was like, okay, I mean, that might be, I guess,
Scheme
GM wise what
matters.
they're looking for, especially when it comes to the draft.
Scheme matters, man. It depends. If Stefanski come in and can scheme around the deficiency of the offensive line, then yeah, we can probably skip on the offensive line and probably do something. But I just those are all unknowns. We don't know. I know Stefanski likes that outside zone read, and I just don't know if we got the athletes and the quickness to on the edges to do it. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. I don't know. I don't know. Minnesota's offensive line is
Right.
not
Well,
trash. Their offensive line is solid. It's not great, but it's not bad either. It's not ours.
I mean, it could be some. It could be a matter of we need to draft help for the line, but we could also see if the line will freaking match. We just have somebody a five that's consistent that's starting. But I know that's a challenge in itself with injuries and
And that's
such.
part of it too. That's part of it, man. If dudes can't stay healthy, you got to move on.
Yeah, man.
You got to have some depth.
We got like we really haven't really got to see like what our line can look like if everybody's healthy, so to speak.
Depth.
You have little
Depth
out here that can
matters.
test often. It's just there's a lot to it.
right. So, yeah, I think it's just as you all said earlier, just finding a coach that can probably scheme around our line. You know, not too many
I
all
tell
these deep drops and
I
stuff
know
like that. Get the ball out fast. So with that, you need weapons that are going to get open fast, and
I know what helps a bad
they
offensive
might be
line.
like, hey, we need to get a. They might. I mean, just saying, they might feel, oh, we need a Jerry Judy there at 7. Like, you know, we can. Like, they can't guard everybody. You know, type.
True.
They
I
might be that kind of. They might be that kind of head coach, but
I I
you know,
know
and also that's going to depend on, I guess, who we get.
I know what helps a bad offensive line, and that's a healthy Cam Newton. But I digress. I digress. We'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, no, it's interesting. It's way too early for me to say. I got to see the combine numbers and see what happens on draft day because a lot of things could change. But I don't know.
Absolutely. Well, that's all I wanted to call. But I just thought that was an interesting thing for people to be. That was interesting. Just I was just looking it up just to see like what they work with and stuff like that. And they haven't worked with much offensive line wise, but you know, just weapons wise, they come from teams with a lot of weapons, so they might be like, we might need more weapons. They might look at Jarius Wright as our 3, be like, nah,
That's
Curtis
what
needs to be our
that's what
3.
I
We
say
need a
when I see Jarius Wright. I say nah too. So I don't know. I
yeah.
mean,
They
I don't
might
know.
look at a CD Lamb and be like, yo, that's as I said before, a CD Lamb or Judy as a 1 and be like, this is much better. But hey, that's something they might address later. But I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
All right, I got another call to get to.
Okay, call
All
me
right,
later.
all right, Eddie. Thanks.
Peace.
See you, Eddie.
All right, 919.
Hey, what's up, fellas? It's Maurice out of Andrew.
Maurice, what's up, man?
What's up, Maurice? No Lokes man tonight, man. I'm kind of disappointed.
He gonna call. Locke's gonna call in a second. Go ahead.
Hey, listen, we got a couple things. Everybody's talking about these coordinators, man. I'm old school, brother. I went to Fayetteville State University,
That's your
graduated
first
back in
mistake.
90, in
Attitude,
92.
attitude check.
But listen. Y'all talking about coordinators, man? Trying to make them head coaches. I don't get down like that, man.
I'm gonna help you out.
This
I'm gonna
my
help you
list.
out.
Hold on.
No, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna give you some history, man. Because Carolina is such a. We've only been in the league for 25 years, so we haven't had too many head coaches at the helm, so to speak. So I want to give you a history lesson real quick. So our first head coach was Don Capers. He was a well-renowned defensive coordinator before he came to us. He took us to the NFC Championship game before eventually he fizzled out and got fired. Then we decided to hire George Seifert, who won a Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers, coached iconic quarterbacks such as Joe Montana and Steve Young. He didn't have any playoff appearances during his run, and he ended his run with a 1-15 season, including losing 15 straight. Then we got John Fox, a well-renowned defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator for the Giants when they went to the Super Bowl at that point. He took us to a Super Bowl, gave us a couple playoff spots. And then we brought in Ron Rivera, another defensive coordinator, who took us to a Super Bowl, a 15-1 season, 3 consecutive conference championships. So the point I'm trying to make to you is this. That old school head coach was the worst one we've had in our franchise's history. Out of the 4 coaches we've had.
Oh, okay, Dave, man. I'm a teacher, bro. I appreciate the lesson. I listen.
Drop some knowledge on Dave,
what
man.
I got.
Drop some knowledge on
man. I'm 27 years into this thing. This is what I got, Dave. High school. I got Lovey over in Illinois, former head coach, defensive-minded coach. I got Doug Williams over at Grambling, formerly of Grambling, and Super Bowl quarterback for the Redskins. But my number 1 pick is Meyer out of Ohio State. If you can get him to get out of there and come over and give us an interview, I think he'd be our guy. Now, if none of that worked out, and somehow you could convince Bill Cowher to come in for about 3 or 4 years, because he's right here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
I know where
that's right down the street from me.
But he loves the CBS job, man. CBS is paying that man a lot of money to talk. And now
hey, man, this man, you got the richest owner in the NFL. It ain't that but money, and new money at that. So if he want to win, you go get the best, man.
Oh,
I told you, boy. I
my
told
boy Marcus just said that Cowher moved to New York. He ain't in North Carolina.
Oh.
He moved close to his job with CBS.
Okay. Okay. Well, he can get a new job, move back to Charlotte. But listen, if say we didn't do that and we brought back Fewell just to tide us over until Tomlin got fired over at Pittsburgh, he'd be our coach. And if that were to happen,
I don't think they're gonna fire Tomlin, man.
No, I don't think so either.
Truth be told,
if he has another losing season, doesn't get in the playoffs, they might let him go.
You know what the Steelers do when the teams have losing seasons? Do you know what they do? You know what they do when they have losing seasons?
I got you. They win.
No. But you know what they do with the coach when they have losing seasons?
What? They keep him?
They extend them.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's what they did with Cowher. Every year that Cowher had a bad season, he got a contract extension. Every year he had a bad season, he got a contract extension.
Right.
And the thing is, truth be told, what Tomlin did with the Steelers team this year, I think is the reason why Rivera got fired during the season.
Yeah. I agree with you, Dave. I agree with you.
They're not I think the Steelers fans appreciate what they have. Because they had no business being within a game of making a playoff this year with that roster.
Well, now, sometimes they appreciate Tomlin. Sometimes they say there's nothing but chaos in that locker room. They want to get rid of him. But my personal opinion is that if ever they let him go, he'd be our head coach. Now, here's what I propose: bring Cam Newton back for his final year here. Give him a chance, see what he has, support him, and meanwhile, get in that draft around the 3rd or 4th round, grab Love. And if Tua were to fall to 2 or 3, get Tua.
That's one to watch. Tua could slide. Mm-hmm. That's one to watch. And
Tua could slide to the second round.
I'm also watching Jalen Hurts too. Hurts could be one of them deep guys you can get. He's not the best quarterback. But if you want to pick one for the sake of picking one, because you're probably gonna pick one every year because Tepper says quarterbacks are currency. Keep an eye on Hurts. But I
Yeah,
listen
I like Hurts, but because he won that bowl game, his stock has risen.
Who
And
Hurts?
More likely somebody gonna pick him up before he get to us. So
Who Hurts? Hurts lost.
second round, he'll be gone. In my
Tua
opinion.
could slide to the second round if they're worried about that injury.
I believe Tua will slide.
I think he could fall. Tua could fall, especially if there's injury concerns. I wouldn't mind picking him up. I don't think he'll get past, depending on how the draft goes. I don't think he'll get past a lot of people early in that second round if it happens. But yeah,
so might have to trade up.
if he's there in the second round, I would take him in a heartbeat.
Well, the thing is, I think in the second round we'll have the 5th pick.
Yeah, we'll have the 5th pick, but still, it just depends.
So like, then you
it
just worried about 4
there.
spots, but then somebody might hop us.
Yeah,
if they think that we might be going after him.
Well, check this out, man. I was looking online earlier at a blog from a Redskins fan. Well, he's a Panthers fan, but he was talking Redskins. And the brother was saying that Rivera might pick up KK in a trade and give up his first-round pick. I don't believe that would happen.
I saw that too.
But if that were to happen and you got 2 first rounds, you could get Brown. And you can get the quarterback that you want.
I saw that. I've seen that. A trade. I don't know if we get a first for KK, but I've seen that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
DTs
coming off injury too, though.
Huh?
Coming off injury, season-ending injury.
Yeah, I think he's still working. He's still young.
I don't know about that. But I did see.
Contract is the other problem.
I did see the trade talk. Though.
And personally, I think that we ought to hit Bradbury with the franchise tag.
That could happen. I think it could happen.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money though. We ain't got that much money. We got a lot of gas.
That's a lot of dough, man.
I think it's 16 something like that. It's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But he'd have to make it through it though.
I don't think we'll let him go without something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, if we got the room to do it, but I think there's gonna be a lot of factors involved.
We got a lot of gaps on this roster. I think Bradbury is not. It's a minor detail in a major overhaul. So I don't know. I don't know about Bradbury.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So that's
fellas.
It's good points. Good points.
Look, good talking with y'all, man. Hey, listen. Before I go, because I know it's time for me to get out of here. I was the guy back at the beginning of the year that was saying, last year, that was saying Haskins could fall to 16. He got all the way down to 15, and the Skins got him. One more move, man, and we'd have had him.
Well, we'll
Haskins.
see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right, well, keep pounding, fellas. And look, I didn't want Rivera to go, but it didn't hurt my feelings that he did go, and maybe he'll take Hurney with him.
No, I don't think Hurney's going nowhere. We'll see.
Take it easy, fellas.
All right, bro. Thanks for talking.
And we need to get some of those guys from A&T. Keep pounding.
We do. That's a fact.
Right.
Now you talking my language. That's a fact.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Peace
Have
out,
a good one,
fellas.
man.
All right, bro. Thanks.
All right.
All right. 910. What's good?
What we got, man?
Oh, man.
What's up?
I woke up from my nap and seen McCarthy was going to Dallas, man. I was sick, man. I was sick all day. I'm still sick right now, man.
Hey, hold up.
Dallas may win the Super Bowl next year.
Hold up, man. Hold up, Lots, man. Let me give you a proper introduction. Hold on, let me get a proper introduction real quick. Give me the proper introduction for my man Locks, man, cause he about to drop some heat. Shout out to Locks, man, cause we know you're gonna say some wild stuff, bro. So shout out to Locks, man. Shout out to Locks, man. Shout out to Locks, man. Go ahead, bro. It's your segment, man. Go ahead, bro.
Before I get into it, man, Dave, I'm tired of you saying that everybody knew Rodgers was going to be so great. Like I told Shad last week, man, this dude waited in the green room. This dude was so upset that teams passed on him that he had to leave the green room. Nobody knew Rodgers was going to be the Aaron Rodgers he is today. So, Slim, you said the same bull jive. I don't want to hear that mess. Everybody knew he was going to be this great. Nobody knew Aaron Rodgers was going to be, what Stephen A. Smith would call a bad man. Nobody knew that, man. So, Dave, what I want to ask you is, since you feel like everybody knew Rodgers was going to be so great, why did he have to wait so long? Why did all these teams pass on him? So I want you to answer that. I want you to answer that, Dave. Answer.
Yeah, Dave.
That's that's easy, man. Look, man, it's the draft, man. Teams make mistakes all the time. You want to know another one that's interesting? The Patriots had a 31st pick, and they took Sonny Michel. Baltimore took Lamar Jackson right after. Like, it's the draft, dude. It happens. But he had no business falling that far because a lot of folks had him going right behind, back to back, behind Alex Smith that year in that draft. So, I think it was incredible that he fell as far as he did. And that was on, but they also said that there was a few teams within the top 7 that should have taken Aaron Rodgers, but they made a decision to go with a different position. And once they got past that point within the draft, he fell hard. And then Green Bay got him, which was pretty much like the greatest scenario that he could have had. Because Brett Favre was going to be there for a couple more years, so you could have learned behind him. So, and there's a lot of franchises right now to this day that are regretting that decision and what happened there. And folks are doing it with Lamar Jackson. Scouts are getting fired over what happened with Lamar Jackson. Let that man fall to the last pick of the first round. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, but hey, then like I said, then again,
But it doesn't. But it doesn't change the fact that Mike McCarthy came in Green Bay and he had a Hall of Fame quarterback, and then he had another quarterback in the wings that was young that was waiting in the wings. So it doesn't change the fact. It doesn't change the fact that people are giving McCarthy all this credit for having 9 winning seasons in 13 years, but he's always had a pretty dang on good quarterback his entire way. It doesn't change that fact. He hasn't really shown that he could build anything from that standpoint because he's always had a high-level quarterback at the helm as a head coach. And he's going to have a pretty decent quarterback when he goes to Dallas as well. And he's going to have a lot of talent when he goes to Dallas. So he better win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Jerry's not going to stay long because believe you me, there's going to be folks that's going to be on his staff that's going to be looking for his job in a couple of years if he fails. He might get Wade Phillips. You saw what happened to Wade in Dallas, right?
Yeah, but look, somebody made a comment earlier today where they said, what do you think about Sean Payton? If Sean Payton was a free agent right now, would you want Carolina to sign Sean Payton?
Yes.
You know why? Sean Payton groomed a few quarterbacks when he was in Dallas. He had a pretty good set of quarterbacks while he groomed a couple quarterbacks while he was in Dallas. Under Parcells.
But look, the thing that caught my attention is he said Sean Payton only has 1 Super Bowl, and he has Drew Brees. Mike McCarthy, 1 Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers. So if you would pick Sean Payton,
but what has Mike built on his own? Sean's groomed a few quarterbacks, and people forget how big of a risk that Sean Payton took when they got Drew Brees. People forget how Drew Brees got to New Orleans. People forget that there was another guy. Miami had the chance to get Brees, and they went with Culpepper because they were worried about Brees' injury.
Yeah.
So like people, you gotta get it down to the history of what went down. But Peyton got that job with the Saints primarily because of what he did in Dallas as the offensive coordinator and what he built there with the quarterbacks that he had under Parcells. And Jerry Groves regrets. He still regrets letting Peyton walk because They could have had Peyton.
Yep.
Instead, they got Garrett.
Okay.
And Peyton wanted to go to Dallas.
Okay, now, like, he wanted to go.
Anyway,
when he wanted to go to Dallas? Yeah,
Peyton,
yeah. All right.
Peyton wanted to be in Dallas. But, you know, there's a lot of nepotism in Dallas. You know that.
All right. So now I'm about to get to my point, right?
I'm waiting for the point, man.
It's getting late, bro. You got to make it quick.
McCarthy is off the list. So now
and the
got,
fan base goes wild.
Hey, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So my next guy, like I said, is McDaniels.
Oh, God.
And it, you know, everybody hating on McDaniels. Everybody talking about, well, you know, what he did. Like, Shy, he did what? Why did he get fired in Denver again? What you said he did in Denver? They're talking about the Spygate, something like that.
No, he didn't get fired because of that, but
he got fired.
He definitely got caught videotaping.
He had altercation with some of his players.
He got caught videotaping in Denver.
Yeah, and that happened too. The videotaping. You know, he was bringing Spygate-ish things to Denver.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. McDaniels,
he
like I
said, he had to lose
said,
a record as a coach. People forget about that too. Like he was not a good.
That was his first job.
That was his first job, though.
Rivera.
That was Rivera's first head coaching job. That was John Fox's first head coaching job too. He was here.
Rivera was about to get fired his second year, and until he, you know, started,
third year.
You know,
third year.
Until he was on the hot seat.
Yeah, he almost got fired his third year. Then he turned around.
Okay, look, right. So I think if McDaniels interviews tomorrow, he got to get hired tomorrow. Pepper cannot let him leave and go to Cleveland, because if he let McDaniels leave, well, you know, we will be stuck with Stefanski or Eric Bieniemy. I'm not a fan of no Stefanski. I watched the Minnesota game this weekend, man, and nothing about his offense impressed me, man.
Did they win?
You know, he has a simple offense. Look, he has a simple offense.
It works.
I got
look. Listen. Yeah, but listen. Me, you, Shy, we can be the offensive coordinator. Anybody who's offensive coordinator, anybody can say, hey, we got to get the ball to Delvin Cook. We got to get the ball. Look, he's not creative enough. Scott Turner, he's Scott Turner 2.0. You know, there was nothing that stands out about Stefanski's offense that impresses me. Now, I want to, like I'm asking you and Shy, tell me what it is about Stefanski that y'all love so much.
Bro,
and
we just did a whole...
The other guy, Eric Bieniemy.
We just did a whole segment.
I want y'all to tell me.
Lots. We just did a whole segment.
Go ahead.
We just did a whole segment on this, bro.
Let me do this. Let me do this. Logs, man, how long you been listening to the show tonight?
We just did a whole segment.
Look.
No. Hear me out. How long you been listening to the show tonight?
The whole show. I just been sitting back observing.
No. It's great. That's awesome. You were here for the whole show, and we appreciate that. And to you guys that have been here for the whole show, please hit that like button. But, here's the thing. I just went over the hierarchy of our head coaches, and the least successful head coach for this franchise so far has been the one with the most experience who's won the championship. That's been to the mountaintop. That has seen it all. Shout out to Jared.
Shout out to Jared, man.
But the thing is, man, I'm just telling you, we don't need all that. McDaniels has shown what we've already seen McDaniels' true colors as a head coach. The dude had a losing record as a head coach. He drafted Tim Tebow after he had the power to draft Tim Tebow. He didn't have the respect of his players. They didn't respect him when he was at Denver. He showed up in St. Louis as an offensive coordinator. He was terrible. And then he had to go back to Bill to learn how to do this stuff again. And now he's ready to go for another gig. And you think that he might have learned from something. And it's very possible that he has. But I stand by that. If that Patriots job open up, he's going back to New England. He's gone. Because that's where he's comfortable at. And that's fine. He's comfortable there, and he can be comfortable there. So he can either wait until Bill retires or take all the power in Cleveland and continue for it to become a dumpster fire where it is. Now, to answer your question about why I like Stefanski and Eric B., is because I think those guys have proven enough to be head coaches in this league. Stefanski's young. He has opportunity. I think he deserves to have a shot of being a head coach. He's never had the opportunity to be a head coach, and I think it's time for Eric B. He should have gotten a head coaching job last year, and he's ready. He's just ready at this point.
Stefanski should have got a job last year, too, with the Browns. According to their analytics team, Stefanski was the pick. They went opposite of that because they do Browns things. But Stefanski should have also been a head coach last year. But go ahead, Dave.
And they got Freddie Kitchens out here treating his freaking players like pets. So, like, that's why, man. And I know you want McDaniels, and I know you wanted McCarthy. And it's funny because I know a lot of Cowboys fans, and a lot of them do not like the fact that they got McCarthy. They're not big fans of it right now. They're all nervous, they're worried, they're concerned. They're thinking the same thing that I'm thinking. He had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, which reminds me of another coach. He would have been George Seifert here in Carolina, man. He would have been George Seifert.
Ah, boy.
He would have been George Seifert, man.
Whatever.
The Seif.
Nah.
The Seifster.
Nah.
George S.
Nah.
GS.
Nah.
The good shit that you don't want to talk about.
You can't compare.
That's what he would have been, man.
All right,
That's
Locks.
2 different situations.
All right, Locks. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Shy, I want you to answer the question, though, Shy.
Bro, we already broke this whole thing down. Scroll back once the replay come up, and we outlined all the reasons why Eric Bieniemy and Stefanski should be the coaches, and it's all documented, bro. He's ready, yo, and he could. You should be happy with this enough, yo, fam. He knows how to beat the Saints. He beat the Saints, bro. Like, when the last time we beat the Saints? On a regular in a regular, even in the playoff regular season when it counted. When the last time we beat the Saints? That should be enough. That's not enough for you?
Oh, like the last, what was it, like a caller that called in was in the chat. He said the reason is Gary Kubiak. It's less Stefanski and more Kubiak that is the reason.
He had an advisor.
Minnesota
So even if that's the case, he has an advisor. Can he not take what he learned and bring it to Carolina? Even if that, and I don't even know if that's true.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's true or not. I mean, we're not in the huddles. We don't know who's calling the plays. Yeah, he probably came in and advised them. Sure, that it happens. But hell, Rivera called his own defenses. Look where that got him. Maybe Rivera needed an advisor. That's why he went out and got Del Rio. So hell, man, listen, it happens. Let that man learn from his. If he made mistakes last year, and let him learn and bring it over here.
That's contradictory talking right there, because I say the same thing about McCarthy and McDaniels. They learn from their mistakes too. You got to give them a chance too.
Nah. Not when you've already had a head coaching job, and we've seen it. Once S hit the fan, you're gonna go back to what you normally do. And I just don't. We need young, new ideas, new thoughts. We don't need recycled crap, especially from guys like McCarthy, dude. I'm good on McCarthy, bro. I think he got the best position for him, which is in Dallas.
Oh yeah, he absolutely
and what's gonna happen is he's nothing but a puppet to Jerry Jones at the end of the day. So that's what he needed to do. So if we're doing that, we can attribute all Mike McCarthy's success to Jerry Jones and not to Mike McCarthy.
So here's the thing. I got a question. So how many years you think you're gonna stay in Dallas, man? I got it under 3 years.
Who, me?
3 and under. Yeah, man.
If he don't win a Super Bowl, then if he not making the playoffs, which he should with that roster, then he out, and I give him 2 years. If he not making the playoffs in 2 years, he's gone.
Jesus.
Jerry's about to croak. Yo, he ain't got time. He ain't got time.
Yeah,
He gonna make the playoffs.
Is he the best coach? Is he the best coach in the division?
Right now, yeah. Yep.
No
Right now.
Is he what now?
No way.
Say that again.
He's better than Ron Rivera.
Oh no, you tripping, man.
He's better than Ron Rivera. If the Giants go with Matt Rhule, he's better than Rhule.
He ain't better than Doug.
Nah, he not even. He third in the division.
He third at best.
In the division,
He's
bro.
third at best. And if Nolly's right about Rhule, he'll be fourth.
Big.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like I told y'all, do
Yeah,
not
that's
be
funny.
surprised if Dallas is in the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl next year. Do not be surprised.
They should be though. Look
man,
at that roster. Look at that roster, bro. They should be.
If you want to take a wager on that, I'm in. I'll put on a Cowboys jersey on there in the Super Bowl next year.
Talk about it.
I'll do a whole episode on the Cowboys jersey, and I don't want to pay for one, so I might have to get one from China. But I'll do one. I'll do a whole episode on the Cowboys jersey there in the Super Bowl next year.
Look,
we got to figure out what we'll do.
Put it like this.
The Browns are about to interview Greg Shorts,
put it like this.
or Jim Shorts. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Put it like this. The NFC Championship or the Super Bowl, I will come on. Y'all can. I will come on the show. Y'all can. We can get this thing up, and I'll put my face on the show. And we can talk about this if they in the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl next year.
That's fair.
And
that's a bet. Okay, so if they win the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl, you come on the show. We'll talk about it. And if they don't, if they do, and Dave got to wear a Cowboys jersey. If they do
so
it,
I got to be replaced, and I got to wear a Dallas jersey.
So what? If they don't, what's in it for us?
Yeah, what's in it for us if they don't, man? Can I get like you to give a donation to our illustrious university or something? Let's do something like that. You know what I'm saying?
How much? So y'all want me to make a donation to the show?
No, you don't have to make a donation to the show. I mean, we both me and Shaw went to T. If I gotta wear this Cowboy jersey, I want you to give something to my university.
He said you could donate to
I'm all about
A&T.
humanitarian efforts around here, man. I got kids trying to graduate from A&T.
And you can write it off. That's a write-off.
And you can write it off. So I'm even doing you a favor.
I mean, all right, bet.
That's a bet.
We'll figure out the number.
That's a bet, yo. That's a bet.
We got time.
That's a bet.
Yo, we can negotiate the number.
Okay.
I mean, for me to wear a Cowboy jersey, man, I'm gonna be on Twitter all over the place. Like I'm taking a lot of risks here.
Go ahead, Lars. Go ahead, hurry up, bro, because I got to get off this joint. I got to go to sleep, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, and my last one, I'm fine with David Tepper, being thorough and taking his time. But like I told a dude today, man, it's kind of like wanting a puppy. You want a puppy, it's 12 puppies. You go, and you're trying to be thorough. You're looking at the puppy. You're looking at weighing them. You're looking at his teeth, your tongue. You're trying to figure out, being thorough with it. You're trying to pick the right one. Then there's other people that's coming in, and they picking all the good puppies. So all of a sudden now, by the time you done been thorough, and you done looked at all the puppies, it's only 6 or 5 left. So now you got to choose for what's ever left. So now you picking from the leftovers. So I feel like if Tepper let McDaniels leave and he don't have his guy, that he wants, he's gonna be left picking from the leftovers.
Here's the thing,
and like
man.
I said,
Yo, hey, look, Locks.
Hey,
Locks,
Tepper,
hold up, real quick, Dave. Hey, look, that was probably one of the best analogies I ever heard in my life, yo. That shit was funny. Yo, that was funny. All right.
It's real, though. It's real.
That's funny. All right. Listen, I just hope we get a healthy puppy, man. At the end of the day, you want a healthy puppy that's going to last. Yo.
Here we go. Money talk.
It's real, though.
Hey, hold up. Locks, man. Appreciate that, Jared.
Yo,
Hey,
man.
hey, listen. At the end of the day, we just want a healthy puppy that's gonna be around for the next 5 to 10 years, and that's not gonna piss on the carpet. Okay, that's what we need. We, all right, that's what we need, yo.
This is
Yeah.
why I don't have pets in my house. Your analogy just proved why I don't need pets in my
Yo,
house.
that's funny. Yo, that's funny. But
Yo,
go ahead,
listen.
finish
All
your
right,
point, Locks.
listen,
Finish,
man.
finish your
Listen.
point.
Truth be told, I think Tepper already has this guy in place, and it ain't Josh. It ain't Josh. Josh going to Cleveland, yo. Rhule's going to the Giants, and we're gonna get one of these other guys. We're gonna get one of these leftover puppies. He's gonna turn into a freaking Rottweiler.
Hey, we got a pit bull coming, Locks.
Okay.
Oh yeah, man.
We got a pit bull coming. We pick what kind of puppies we choosing from?
Hey.
You could at least have like a
Pit
cat
bull.
analogy, man.
Pit
I
bull.
mean, we're the
All right,
Panthers. Like
pit bulls.
you could have rolled with a cat analogy or something to that effect.
Ah, man, that's funny. I don't like cats, Dave. I like puppies.
I mean, I'm allergic to like the entire environment. So.
Yo, this is great. This is classic stuff. All right, but Locks, man, we got to get out of here, bro. It's way
It's 10:30, man.
we got a 2 hour show
Hey.
for y'all, man. This is great. Hey, man, appreciate you calling in, bro. Go ahead. What was you gonna say?
I holler at you.
All right, bro.
Holla at
All
y'all.
right, man.
Appreciate it, Locks. Ah, man, that's classic stuff. Hey, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and end this real quick because I really got to go to sleep.
Oh, we all do.
But listen, this coaching thing, listen, we should have our puppy picked out by Friday, though, for real.
It looks like it's
Yo.
since McDaniels' interview went up because he was supposed to be for Friday, right?
Yo, Tuesday, yeah, it went up to Tuesday. So the last interview was
Yeah.
Thursday. The last interview was Thursday, which is Kevin Stefanski. Just to recap, we had Matt Rhule today. We got McDaniels tomorrow. We got Perry Fewell Wednesday, and we got Stefanski on Thursday. By Friday, we should have the best puppy, the best pit bull puppy out there, and I can't wait. I'm hoping we go ahead and knock this thing out the park. I'm thinking. I'm putting my money on Stefanski. That's just what I got. I think Eric Bieniemy's right there too. And has Eric Bieniemy interviewed for anybody else?
I think he's going to interview with Cleveland, I believe.
Man, who has Cleveland not interviewed? They just requested to interview Jim Shorts.
Dude, nobody wants to go there.
Fam.
Like nobody wants to go there.
That's
They're
crazy.
like, how does it? But think about it, man.
So Giants
How
have
does it
interviewed.
look?
Giants have interviewed Bieniemy, but go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I knew somebody else did. But like, how do you have a franchise? You buy this team, and you keep having revolving door coaches, and then you expect somebody that's going to be serious that wants to go there.
They interview
Like-
they've interviewed at least 12 people. You think they puppy litter was big to pick from? Ours was a lot to pick from. Yo, they got mad puppies to choose from, yo, and some of them is runts. But you know, I digress.
The real talk, I wouldn't be shocked if Marvin Lewis does go there.
To the
But
Browns.
then again, why would he? He would be he would be an Ohio hero if he could turn the Browns around. He would be like an Ohio hero. He made the Browns and the Bengals relevant again.
All right.
All the dogs run away from Jimmy Haslam. You're right, buddy.
All right,
You are correct.
listen. I hope we have this thing wrapped up. We got 112 people watching right now. Make sure I think we had 50 likes last time I checked.
We need to get. We got to get to 100.
Let's
man.
get
We got
100 likes.
People watching.
Let's get 100 likes,
We need
man.
these likes going.
It's nothing for
Like
you
and
just
subscribe, man.
yeah, it's nothing for you just to hit that like button real quick. If I have time, I might separate out the coaches that we went over and put them in separate videos, just to give you quick little snapshots to go back to whenever somebody gets hired, so that you can see the positive and negatives behind each coach. If I have time to do it, I'll do it. I don't know if I have time, but again, by Friday, I'm hoping this thing is wrapped up, and we got the best puppy of the litter. That being said, Dave, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up because I got to go to bed. I'm tired.
All right, man. Panther Nation PC on Twitter. And Rashad typically runs that channel. Champ D1012 for me on Twitter. Panther Nation Podcast on Facebook. We're on Twitch. We're on Apple Podcast. We're on YouTube. Please subscribe here. The Google algorithms love it. Please like here. The Google algorithms love it. Because I want a lot of people to see this stuff. Typically, we march to get more subscribers during the off season. And for us, this is our off season. We're here every week, 9 p.m. Come 8:30 p.m. Come join us. We don't normally go 2 hours.
Nah.
Enjoy this ride, but we had a lot to talk about this night tonight, so
Oh,
we had to.
and
And we had to go figure out some beefs.
next
And now my school's gonna get a donation, so it's great.
next week, Dave, do you want to live stream the national championship game?
Oh, it is Monday, isn't it?
Yeah. We live streamed
That's
it last
fine.
year. I think we should live stream. It's a lot of
No, we
NFL
should.
talent. A lot of NFL
No, we
talent in that
should.
joint.
We can
So,
talk about what happened in the. We can talk about the year of the black quarterback continuing to.
all right, we'll see. We'll see. All right, so let's with that being said, we out of here. Live stream of the national championship game. Go Tigers. That being said, I'm out. All right, peace out.